Hello and welcome to another episode of It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where three friends with varying degrees of nerd knowledge get together each week to have a chat about all things geek. My name is Rich Gittins, and joining me this week and every week, it's my buddy Chris Lumb. Come on out, Lummy.
Hiya, you all right?
How you doing, Lummy? How's the gigging been this week? How's the gigging?
Oh, it's all right, been gigging.
Have you really? So I thought I'd turn the question round this week to stop you saying I've been gigging. So I thought, how's the gigging been?
Gigging all
Brilliant.
over.
Brilliant.
Gigging this week as well. Just gigs.
Gigging all over the world.
Yep.
Should make a song about it. All right, brilliant. Well, let's bring out Webby. Come on out, Nathan Webb.
It is.
Giggity.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking as well, but I thought I'd probably leave that to you. That's a nice t-shirt you got there, Webby. That's a nice fucking t-shirt.
Thanks, man. It's my 40th birthday present from me old pal.
I love the Beatles.
Probably watching out there.
When were your birthday?
Oh, it was when I was 40, 2 years ago, last
I'm
March.
going to say, I missed it. Yeah.
We went to see Flight of the Conchords that year, and I think she must have picked it up at some point that year. I don't know where she
You made it sound like it were new, though. That's what I mean.
It is to me because she's had it in her house for 2 years.
All right.
Well, my mum and dad used to do that all the time. Just get Christmas presents, then forget to give them to me, and then like I'd find it in the airing cupboard. I'd be like,
right, man. I mean,
whose is this Dinobot? And I'd be like, that's your Christmas present you didn't get.
I'm still touched.
Save that for the Christmas episode.
Oh yeah, Christmas spectacular coming up.
Anecdotes. We've got quite a jam-packed couple of months coming up actually, because we've got our anniversary show, we've got a festive period coming up, some guests on. I'm sure we're going to fit in another quiz sometime soon. It's about time we had a quiz soon, right, lads?
Yeah, man. I'm squeezing in a wedding as well in a couple of weeks.
Well, that's it. Are we actually getting together in person, the three of us, in the next show, next Monday? Because we're all going to be in Leeds.
Sure. He won't sure.
Lummy.
He just think he's gonna, and then he just won't.
Lummy.
I'm looking at you. And staring into your soul.
I made it look like I couldn't hear you. But a minute, I'll just check my diary. Hang on. When you thinking?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Oh,
you know what?
Of all the days. Of all the days.
He's busy doing a show from home that night.
I'm doing a show.
This show, it's just that he's not going to come to Webby's house to do it.
We could go record one at 7 Arts. I'll get the room for us. It'd be great. Their internet
do that then?
An option.
The internet shit.
Is it?
Yeah, man, it's an option to do it together. We could do, but let's figure that out later on this week. If not, we'll definitely do something. Because Gittins is going to be up in lovely Leeds. So if anything, you'll have two of us on one screen. There.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know.
Cool. Anything else been going on this week, Webby? How are the pre-wedding jitters? Do you have them yet?
They're fine.
Been an actual bit waxed yet?
Fucking, my boiler's just burst. That's a bit annoying.
That sounds rubbish.
That sounds not a euphemism either. Literally, my neighbour came round at 2 o'clock saying, "There's water pissing through my ceiling." Oh no!
When are you two watching Ghostbusters, by the way?
Sometime next week, mate. I think.
Right. Yeah, because actually,
we were waiting for you to offer to pick us up and take us with you, but you didn't.
On
you
Thursday.
Just flat out didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, we could have done a fucking bit for the show, but we
could have done a whole segment for the show.
If you're gonna go watch it, though, if you're gonna go watch it,
sorry, it's not a gig for you to concentrate on.
If you're watching it Thursday, we could get together on the Friday and do a show instead and do about Ghostbusters.
You know that, like next Friday,
well,
Nathan's going away to get married, right?
I didn't know that because I'm not invited. So how would I know?
Invited, otherwise you would have known.
For that.
I've got nothing happening on that Friday. I'd be fine.
Maybe if you fucking behaved yourself once in a while, you might get more invites.
Maybe if you two, since you're having a wedding together, why don't you go watch Ghostbusters together as well, you fuckers?
Gonna get married together. We are gonna.
Yeah. Well, actually, that isn't.
I'm gonna break into. I'm not gonna break in. I'm just gonna walk in at a wedding. I'm gonna go. It should have been me in any three of them roles. That's what I'm gonna say.
It should've. Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I'd have been best man, groom, or bride. Any of them.
I said,
you could have done a good job as a registrar.
If Gittins puts a
four possible options for me.
Sorry, Webby, go on.
Yeah. If
I'm gonna talk over you, I don't give a fuck. I'm talking over you. I don't give a fuck.
If Gittins puts a foot wrong, I'll be straight on the phone to you saying, how quickly can you get to Lake?
I'll be there. I'll be outside. I'll be ready. I'll be outside anyway. Just I'll be with car park. Martin's here.
Hey up,
Evening,
Martin.
Hey up,
Anyway,
Martin,
enough of
how
that
you
fucking
doing?
shit. Yeah, we're getting married. It's not as good as Star Wars or something, but we're getting married.
No, but there is actually an issue in that I've looked for screenings of Ghostbusters Afterlife in Leeds, and it doesn't appear to be anywhere within the Leeds city centre at all. None of the cinemas.
Well, if only we had a friend that were going in that direction anyway, in a fucking
not going that direction. I'm going to Showcase.
Who we did a gig with.
I'm going to Showcase straight on M62 down.
Got me saying gig. You got gigs on the brain.
Gigs. I'm going to look for some show times for you if you want. See what time you can go see it in Leeds.
Go on.
I'll do that while
in
you.
In the meantime, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to It's All Geek to Me. If you want to leave a comment down below, just like our good friend Martin just did, and just like Martin has just done again. I was thinking Wayne's World as well. I was thinking it was going to be like Wayne's World. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Feel free to go over to our Twitter page at It's All Geek Twit. Go over to our YouTube page, It's All Geek to Me. Well, we've got loads of cool new videos that have been going up recently. So yeah, feel free to get involved in the show. Gentlemen, what's going on in the...
I can see Lummy being the kind of dude that would show up at the wrong venue, start screaming, no! Someone else's wedding.
Somebody's funeral.
Too young. Why? The
next thing is going to be at the end of the wedding after you've kissed each other, you said, I do, you kiss each other, and then suddenly the registrar takes their mask off and it's Lummy underneath being like, you're not really married.
Like Three Men and a Little Lady with Ted Danson.
Just like
that's what he does in that. That is exactly what he does.
Yeah,
man. Where are you getting married? Where actually are you getting married?
I can't
Don't
tell
him,
Webb.
Don't tell him. Especially if you're not going to put it on the internet.
I don't know what day or time.
Man.
Yeah,
It's the best bit. I won't worry about the wedding.
I'm not bothered.
You know,
I'm not going to be at the reception, Lummy. So you can take. There you are.
Oh, that's it. You can take the best.
All right.
You can MC it.
In now.
You can treat it like a gig.
Deal.
It's the only way you'll get in there, Webby. It's the only way you'll get in there.
Turn that music off. I'm going to do some improvisations. Give me a seat. Give me a place.
I booked in already. It's booked. It's booked in that night. There's no gigs happening that night. I booked it ages ago. I put it in and I went, no, you need me.
I need you at my special event. That's what I need.
Yeah.
In fact,
anyway, should we talk about gigs?
Anybody's feelings, but even if you just showed up, it'd be great.
That's nice.
Dude. Yeah, lovely. So what's going on in the news this week, gents? What is going on? Because actually been quite a few things that have come out.
The news has become a bit of a fucking minefield for us to navigate at the minute because, yes, there's a lot of it, but a lot of it's bullshit. And the things that aren't bullshit are spoilers. So nearly every poster, Spider-Man poster came out today, spoilers in the post. Can
I show that?
You can show it if you want. Yeah, that's it. Just in case it's spoiled. But yeah, if you look at that poster closely, you might see.
Can we have a look at the poster closely? Can we actually put it up, because I haven't seen it yet?
You can see in the background there, you got Green Goblin floating around on his machine. There's lightning there, Electro.
It's a bit odd, isn't it? I mean, the trailer had the pumpkin bombs in, but you were still like, oh, is it going to be the William Dafoe? And like, let's just shove it on poster. Like, right, okay.
Yeah, but we'll just tuck it away in background so nobody can see it.
Yeah, so nobody can zoom in and like.
I think if I were a Spider-Man villain, I'd be a bit hurt that Dr. Octopus is getting all the glory. Like,
didn't show his face though, did it?
No,
didn't show his face.
Full on testicles, tentacles.
Yeah. But it's in the trailer though.
Big time, he is.
Yeah. Obviously, it was the best. It was one of the best villains, though, wasn't he? In them films,
it was the most famous one as well.
I mean, Electro.
We knew it was going to be. We knew it was going to be Electro. We knew it was going to be Sandman. We knew it was going to be the Green Goblin. We knew it was going to be Dr. Octopus. Who were the other two?
Well, they're not confirmed.
No,
but I strongly suspect
Vulture,
that Vulture will show up in it because he's crossing over into other things as well. Again, spoiler alert, is in the trailer for Morbius, which came out last week, which looks pretty fucking good, actually. Yeah. It looks really good. And there's a nod to Spider-Man and possibly Venom in there as well.
Yeah.
In the Morbius trailer. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see when it actually comes out. No, there could be a secret one, you see. I don't want to postulate too much in case I'm right and I ruin it for some.
And then, speaking of spoilers, though, there's been another Ghostbusters trailers hit, and a final trailer. And don't watch it. We watched it. Me and Webb watched it already, but
you watched it. Watched too much. It's too late.
I haven't watched the last two because of that. I thought that was.
And this one, if you don't want spoilers, just wait because is where it is. There's a poster. But
I thought that was the agreement. We weren't going to watch anymore.
But we're suckers. We go on there. We go on there and go. I'll watch it anyway. It won't be that spoilerific.
Watch Game of Thrones behind my back. You can't comment on that shit. The number of times, I'll wait for you and we'll watch Game of Thrones together, and then you greedy little sticky, greedy Gittins fingers.
But that's because I was satisfied. Yeah, but I wasn't spoiling things for myself, whereas that's exactly what you guys have just done.
Well, now I know something you don't know, so suck it.
Because when I sit there watching with you for the first time, and then you turn around to me and go, "This is going to happen," I'm going to be so pissed off.
You can't
say from the trailer.
I'll give you the Star Wars one. That was genuinely my bad. That was bad.
Finally.
Genuinely my bad. Although you did ask for it.
It was
what happened with the Star Wars thing?
Right. Okay. So basically,
Awakens, right?
And I was
watching it.
No, wait, no, there's a thing that precedes it, because we were just kind of winding each other up about Star Wars and stuff, and I was pretending I was going to spoil it, so I was just like, oh, not so-and-so, no, and then just as he sat in there to watch it, I went, not Han, no, never thinking that Han Solo was going to die in that film, and then he comes home from watching the film, and then he's like, so what, you knew that was going to happen then? And I was like, well, I do now, dickhead. And it created this argument.
Backfired in his own face. It just did.
Kind of argument that's happened. It kind of gone on for the last 4 years.
He had to wipe it off.
Yeah.
But instead of a tissue, we picked up a wet wipe and he just smeared it.
I just smeared it all
we also
everything.
We also had Stranger Things, a little trailer thing, didn't we? Have you watched that?
Which is really nice for me, because I'm about like 2 or 3 episodes into season 3. I've just started rewatching it again. And the second series, I didn't really rate it that much. Second time round, actually watching it and paying attention, I really enjoyed it. And third one's 1 or 2 episodes in, enjoyable stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, it changes so much between shows that there's still a massive part of me yearning for the time when they were just kids playing Dungeons and Dragons, you know what I mean? Because as the series goes on, like in this third series, they're all into girls and stuff, and they've all started relationships, and it spreads it about. And yeah, you've got more characters and more storylines to work with, but it pulls them further apart, that core group.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still really good. I really enjoy it. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with season 4.
Well, they're split up even more now, aren't they? Because they've moved away.
Yeah, 2 of them have moved, haven't they? That's what I couldn't figure out.
Did his brother go as well?
Yeah, I think they all went, didn't they?
The whole family went, but didn't 11 go with them?
Yeah, 11. Winona Ryder, what's she called?
Yeah, I think they're in California, at a school in California. Okay. Her and Will, from the looks of the trailer anyway, they're hanging out together at school, and she's still communicating with Mike. I think they're still having a relationship, but it's obviously
telepathically.
Back in Hawkins and that. But I think it's going to be something to do with the Russians, because Hopper ended up getting got sucked over to Russia, didn't he? And it all got weird. So
he got sucked off to Russia.
Yeah. So yeah, we shall see. Anyway, you want some more news?
What else is going on? What's going on? Isn't there a Disney Plus day coming up soon?
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Maybe I pictured this as a little bit better than I thought.
Oh, okay.
that it actually is. So November the 12th is a 2-year anniversary of Disney Plus streaming service. Obviously going from the US date. So they're having like a Disney Plus month. If you haven't got Disney Plus already and you sign up this month, it's only $1.99. So you get a month at $1.99, which is, better than no. But they've got some exclusives.
Oh no, wait, it's not better than no. If it were no, that'd be better than
£1.99 worse than no.
It's better than more. It's better than more than $1.99.
If it were free, that's better than $1.99.
No, that is no. That's the same as no.
Same as no.
Yeah, if it's free, it's equal to no.
Into a hole here with the semantics. So on the November the 12th, they're dropping a couple of big movies. They've got Jungle Cruise, which is coming to the streaming service.
Rock for Dwayne Johnson.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I really want to see it. I really want to see it. I think he's been fun.
I really like him, and I really like the style, and I thought it was going to be quite like Jumanji. But what
Jumanji? That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it, and going straight into it in the first 10 minutes or so, Jack Whitehall was in it, like acting. I was like, "What the hell are you doing in this movie?" It took me right out of it, so I didn't get much further than that. I should probably go back and give it a full
the skinny man's James Corden. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a love him or hate him kind of dude, isn't he? I don't mind him, but I don't like his comedy. What's that all about? I don't really, you know what I mean?
I've gigged with him. We met him.
Did you?
Jack Wild. It was lovely guy.
It's got a lot of wanking jokes. Fair enough. Anyway, so we've got Jungle Cruise, but also we've got the premiere of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
We're watching that this weekend.
Have you not seen it?
Nope.
I've seen it. It's great. Highly recommended. Loved it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be giving it a watch this weekend. Also, we've got the season 2 of Jeff Goldblum, The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Did anybody watch that one? That was all right.
I watched some of it, yeah. Great.
That was quite funny. Quite a bit silly.
Funny. It's good.
And also, there is Home Sweet Home Alone.
Oh!
We've all been waiting for.
This is the one. There you go.
Yeah, baby.
So potentially, could our show on Monday be a review of Home Sweet Home Alone?
Could be.
If we all watch it.
Can all be as Wednesdays.
Of all the things we just mentioned, we could pick the good movie to review.
No, let's
go.
No, I mean,
but we spent ages talking about it last week, didn't we?
Should we not wait till Christmas to review that?
Nah,
is it too late?
It's already Christmas.
Dude, I started having Baileys in my coffee instead of milk, like when the clock went back.
Yeah, man. And I watched Home Alone with Robin yesterday, so it's Christmas.
We'd also everybody who watched the show will have had to watch the film because we're going to spoil it to fuck out it.
Well, maybe we.
Well, I mean, we could be saying how shit it is or how good it is.
And that's all right. 3.
We don't need to go into detail.
I'm sure nobody's going to take us too seriously.
And the fact is, the chances are that there's going to be a difference of opinion between the three of us. Like every chance I'm going to have a different opinion to you guys.
Can I leave? Can I phone my review now? Can I leave you my review now and just use it for next week?
Why don't we predict our reviews?
What a pile of shite! There you go. That's it.
Okay.
Kill that.
Right.
I'm going to go with actually weirdly better than I thought it was going to be.
Better than the original. Better than the original.
No, I won't go that far. I'm predicting.
No, you just said it. We've got him. We've got you. Just better than the original. Quote him. Send them that for the marketing campaign. It'll be on the screens like all next week. Better than the original.
Are we gonna?
I think you guys are being too. I think you guys are being too harsh. I actually think it is way better than any of us thought it was going to be, and it's redefined Christmas movies forever.
Brilliant. Okay. So that was our review of Home Sweet Home Alone.
Tune in next week to watch us say exactly the same shit that we've just said. My prediction: we're going to be predicting that Gittins were going to like this movie.
Oh, he's going to love it. You're going to love this.
Love it. Yeah, he's going to love it. He'll be like, yeah, better than the original. Who is this kid? And
wait, haven't we just recycled the same joke there?
No, we got to make it hit home. Martin said Shang-Chi was awesome. I agree, Martin.
I can't wait to see it, Martin. I cannot wait to see it.
Home Alone could kiss ass.
No,
watch it, Martin, and then you can come on.
Martin.
Yeah,
Nathan, this is your chance to get your revenge. Webby, this will be your chance to get revenge on Martin.
Is there a way to watch the film online at the same time for everybody? How would we do that?
Yeah, well, I know you can do it with Netflix. You can do a stream party, so I'm sure you might be able to do it with Disney. Although their platform is a bit shit.
You watch it all at the same time.
Party, so you all watch it, but there is actually a thing where you can link devices so you all watch it at the same time. But I'm sure we could just say
3, 2, 1, play.
Go.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Somebody's just at the door, guys. Press pause. Takeaways here.
I need a shit.
Then it'll all be out of sync when you rewatch it.
So, just in case that's not enough for you and you're a fan of short movies by Disney that you've never heard of, they're also dropping the following: Ciao Alberto, which I'm guessing is a short from Luca, the latest one. There's also season 1 of Entre Lazodas. What? I don't know how to say that. Some Disney Plus series. I think it's by Pixar. There's also Frozen Fever, Get a Horse, Olaf Presents. So that's Olaf going through all the Disney movies. and explaining them as only a daft, made-up snowman could do. So apparently, yeah, that's what that is. You got the Little Match Girl and TikTok Tale. All these are shorts, so loads of shorts. I'm guessing from the latest batch of Pixar stuff because they no longer do DVDs. You don't get them on the DVD.
Right.
Something like that.
Just very quickly, Nathan, just before we kind of move on to a couple of points. Martin's got a question. Can you just tell us what that Pixar series was again?
Entre los dos. That's it.
Entrails.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And going back to Home Alone. Martin, I think you should probably get off the fence, mate, and say what you really feel.
Say what you think. There's no reason to beat around the bush, Martin.
We could actually do a live watch. We could all watch it together at the same time and do a show whilst we're all watching it on and have our.
Now that's a good idea.
Reaction.
Because we don't have to show the image, do we? We could just watch it like this. Yeah. Is that what you mean? And we go, everybody start.
Next Monday's show. It's just
everybody press
Webby's watching it.
I don't know if I like this idea because part of this is I want to feel free to react, right? So if I start finding myself really liking it, I might be embarrassed to show people that I actually love it. I might need a couple of days to
Don't be embarrassed, man. If you enjoy it like Rich does, you know.
Okay. And for the rest of the November, they've still got stuff coming. Lummy, you might be interested in the Muppets Christmas Letters to Santa.
Oh, that is a good one, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. And you've also got Becoming Cousteau, which I'm guessing is about Jack Cousteau, the history of him. And on the 24th of November, first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, the series.
All right, yes.
Oh, on the 25th, my special day. They've kindly got Peter Jackson to re-edit the Beatles documentary.
Oh, yeah.
And release it just for me. I've been waiting. I've seen the original. It's a really weird one. It's really badly edited. You can't get it on DVD anywhere. I had to download it sneakily years ago. And it's cut to make it look like The Falling Out. So what happened was Peter Jackson got access to 50-plus hours of footage from the era where they made this film.
Which documentary? There are loads of them. Sorry, there were so many. Which one?
It's called Get Back, but it's based on Let It Be, which is supposed to be the film where
Right, it's the one where they showed them falling out in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite like that. Yeah, you did, but the way it was edited. So basically, Peter Jackson got asked if he would look at this footage again, go through it all, make a new thing, and redo a remastered version of Let It Be. And when he sat down and watched it, he called the filmmaker who originally made it and said, "What's the deal? I've been told this is like the breakup film, and nothing's actually amiss here. They don't look like they're arguing at all. What's going on?" And then he watched the rest of the footage. It turns out they had a really good laugh making the album. They were still friends. Yeah, Yoko was around a bit, and things were a bit tense, but not in the way we've been led to believe.
Clapton into record other tracks and things like that, weren't they?
No. That's going back a bit. That's the White Album. Anyway, it's not a Beatles show, but anyway, they've done this documentary, and Peter Jackson's re-edited. So now instead of 2 hours of a documentary, he's made it into 6 hours, and it shows this supposed breakup movie in a different light.
Have you watched the trailer? There's a trailer out for it. Yeah, it looks great.
They're having a laugh together. Their separate kids are coming into the studio. It's like a family affair. People are just showing up and rocking up and playing. It just seems like they're having a really good time. So I'm really looking forward to that, being a big Beatles man. But not as much as I'm looking forward to finally seeing on the November the 26th, Ernest Saves Christmas.
You never seen it?
No. I haven't been able to track it down for years.
Blimey.
So, yeah.
You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
All right. No spoilers here.
No spoilers.
Yeah, that sounds
watch it.
So, yeah,
I hope it's in
very much.
I hope it's in HD.
I do.
Thank you very much for Webby's Disney TV guide.
Martin's just asked if we've seen the trailer for Buzz Lightyear as well.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I have.
Is it looking good?
Really was. It looks
interesting. I don't quite know how it fits in with, because it's supposed to be the real Buzz Lightyear, isn't it? What all the toys are based on, I guess.
Yeah, for me it fits into that fucking vein of films that nobody asked for, but could be quite good. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And it's Chris. Who's
Chris Evans. Captain America. Yeah, playing the voice of Buzz.
Oh, speaking of voice work, Chris Pratt has been announced as new Garfield, hasn't he, in voiceover
Yes,
role?
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and loads of people were like, "No, not another one." He's like already voicing. What were the other thing he's voicing? Super Mario.
Yeah, he had to take a little break from Twitter because people were being mean to him apparently about it.
Oh, it's because he's a controversial arsehole, though, isn't it? And he doesn't know when not to be an arsehole. I'm really disappointed, man. I thought he was cool, but he's a bit of a douche by all accounts, from what I've read. Yeah.
Isn't he quite big into religion?
Yeah, he is. He's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, isn't he? Because he dumped his ex. Oh, and that's the other thing I read about him that was just despicable. He put a tweet out last week thanking God for his beautiful wife and his beautiful, healthy daughter. He's got another kid with Anna Faris that's got some sort of learning disability.
Okay.
That's and I just thought that is downright despicable, mate. To call one of your kids out as the normal one, the healthy one, what a prick. So that guy can suck it. Sorry, Chris Pratt. I know you're all buff now, and I don't want to start a fight with you, but come on, sort it out. Anyway, I just don't understand how you can call yourself a Christian, yet ignore that side, that kindness side of a religion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm all confused about religion at the minute because the kid's learning about it at school.
Didn't he come home asking you some probing questions about religion the other day?
He sat on the toilet the other night and he said, "Daddy, are you vegetarian, Crystal, or Pingu?" And I'm like, "What?" So I've gathered that because of Diwali last week, they've been teaching him about the Hindu religion, and and it's just got all jumbled up in his brain.
Pingu.
So yeah, that's what I said. I'm Pingu, man. You know I'm Pingu. Do you even have to ask?
Brilliant.
Now go in there and learn how to eat fish fingers or whatever.
And then I just sent him to bed with no supper for asking stupid questions.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen that episode of Pingu where Pingu said bollocks?
No.
There's an episode that got aired where Pingu just said bollocks.
Are you sure? Because that sounds insane.
That sounds a bit mean.
I'm going to try and find
That's like that episode of Rainbow they put out and went, "Look, this was an actual episode." You're like, "No, it was for the rap party, you fucking morons."
It was brilliant, though.
It was brilliant. But it was for the rap party, and people were going, "Oh, this actually, I remember seeing this on the TV." You're like, "No, you fucking didn't."
You don't. It's weird.
Oh. Anyway.
So what else is going on in the news this week, gentlemen? Anything else?
I know.
Did you find anything?
That's it.
News. All done.
That's it. I mean, let's keep our eye on this little powder keg.
Yeah, I think we should talk Webby into doing a little watch party.
Watch party Monday. Look, it's like Webb's the little kid. Look, if you do that.
I was waiting for you to do that. Now it's just Edward amongst the screen. Brilliant. Okay, well, very much looking forward to
do you know what?
Disney
Home
Plus
Alone
Day because I want to see Shang-Chi.
Home Alone is a much more fun movie when you watch it with a 4-year-old and you've got to explain every single thing that's going on the screen. So the bit where he puts his dad's bloody...
Was that the first time you've seen it before?
He saw it last year. Was it the first time I remember last year? He was 3 last year, and his memories only just started kicking in. Anyway, but yeah, he was like, "Why is that kid screaming, Daddy?" I said, "He's just put his daddy's aftershave on." And they said, "What's aftershave, Daddy?" So I said, "Come in the bedroom, son. I'll show you."
And he said the clues in the said the clues in the fucking name. Aftershave. Are you thick?
Yeah, man. I think you do. Honestly, these kids.
This is where Webby's just sat there shaking his head, going, "I think I was so proud when you were born."
Stupid.
So how was his first kind of proper taste of Home Alone then? Did he laugh more this year, do you think, or was he more confused?
He laughed a lot more. He understands it a lot more, and we only got halfway through because we've got we had to put him to bed. We had to, it's bedtime. So I promised him that the next bit is the best bit. Promise
you, when he wakes up, you'll be gone. He just wake up and he have to figure out the second part himself.
Right? Because he was scared of the man with the shovel. I thought you'd.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
Was he scared of the? Was he scared of the furnace? Was he scared of the
it was
furnace?
A little bit, it was like, why is he scared of the
yeah.
furnace? And then the furnace went. And he went.
Are you worried that he'll start putting booby traps around the house though after he watches?
He's doing it with his Lego, isn't it? It's just. It's like
proud of him, mate, if he started doing that. As long as he told us where they all were. I think he understands.
As long as it's not the sharp Christmas decorations that are going to splinter and get in your feet when they start going out. I mean, the fact is, it's already like an obstacle course in that place anyway, with his toys sort of strewn all over the place. So
we're used to it. You just occasionally you stand on one and you slip a bit, but it's all right, man. It's all right. I think I'd be proud of him for trying to protect us, But you've got to be realistic with these kids, man. Says, Daddy, I'm scared of the burglars in Home Alone. I could say, those guys are old men now, and they're probably not going to burgle us. I'd be worried about the monsters under your bed. Anything, to be honest with you. I'd be worried about if this place is haunted or not. It's a really old house, dude. Should I give him something else?
And it is scary, as we established on Halloween. There is something weird about your place. It was
Do you know, man, I'm doing a really good job of making myself look like the worst parent in the world. None of this shit actually happened.
Oh, a wonderful dad. Yeah, you don't let him watch Home Alone.
But I am pretty impressed.
You're a wonderful dad to your 18 children. What's wrong with you?
I am impressed with the fact that he found Home Alone amusing and the good bit hadn't happened yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just happy to see him. He didn't like the black and white movie thing.
Do you know what you should do? Play the second half, but play Home Alone 2 with the second half of that. Just to confuse him. We'd be like,
this is weird. It's the same movie and the same people. Why are they in New York?
You're like, they were in New York in first bit. What are you on about?
I might just skip that and show him Home Sweet Home Alone. Why is this kid fucking British now? What's going on?
Show him show him 1 and 2, right? Then show him the remake, the new one, and then lock him in the room and give him a piece of paper and say, I want a 3,000-word essay on which film is better, and you will eat tonight for the correct answer.
Yeah, and you better pick the right one.
Yeah, else it's over. I'll be home alone in you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He needs to learn.
I just thought of a title for a new Home Alone movie that they could have done as a reboot. Homeschooled. Just, have a kid who's homeschooled and he gets left on his own. It's a reboot, remake. And then something happened. No, it's shit. Just watch Home Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah, Ofsted come in and the kid leaves loads of booby traps. Stop Ofsted. Yeah. Cool, brilliant. Well done, Lummy. Yeah, you picked that.
They go to burgle the school, but they get there and they realise they've been so underfunded for so many years. They actually end up changing their mind and giving them donations.
Yeah,
start a fucking charity for the school and give them some gym equipment and some brand new textbooks.
Okay.
Right,
it's a
guys.
heartwarming end. Anyway,
I've been thinking a lot this week about, obviously, with streaming services and there being more streaming services and the budgets in TV series being pretty huge now, sort of blockbuster movie style budgets. And I know we've talked previously about unnecessary reboots, but it kind of got me thinking about, are there any films that could actually do with a reboot? Are there any films that could do with actually being told as a TV series in a streaming platform sort of special kind of way, like Stranger Things is like a Netflix original and things like that. And I just kind of wanted to start a little bit of discussion about that sort of stuff this week, because it seems like, do you think there's ever going to be a point where, with the way that TV's going, that it's ever going to overtake cinema, or it's going to make cinema obsolete, especially after the COVID pandemic and things like that?
I think if it happens at all and there is a takeover, I hope it happens to television first, because television is fucking awful.
What do you mean?
It's awful. I mean, back in the day when I was a kid and Channel 4 used to put the occasional interesting program on, or documentary, or decent comedy, it's shite now. He said it was never going to happen to
regular
Channel 4.
TV, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, things like Benefit Street and Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, which I'm sorry, if you like those things, fair enough. I'm not slagging the audience off, I'm just wondering whether
remember, I mean, when Gypsy
Wedding
was about 8 years ago. There hasn't been another episode of that for about 8 years.
No. I know it's been going on for a long time. It started around about the time of things like Big Brother, really, didn't it? Where all this crappy TV started. You know, one of the biggest programs on Channel 4 right now, and it has been for quite some time, is Gogglebox, where you watch a bunch of people watching television. So my argument has always been, why can't you just make good television? That's why I diverted to like Netflix and Amazon Prime, where you get better original content than you do on television now.
Okay, all right then. Okay, well, let's use this as a starter. What is there on terrestrial TV? I guess it's a really good beginning. What is there on terrestrial TV? What programs do you watch? Like, are there any series that you look out for? Is there anything you watch regularly? Like, okay, so there are news and documentary programs that I watch. I watch things like Question Time to keep abreast of kind of current affairs and what's going on in politics and things like that. But then, you know, there are some really good TV shows like on the BBC. I mean,
I can name off the top of my head on the BBC 3 or 4 that I will switch on to deliberately watch. And I think that would be like Sherlock, Line of Duty maybe, which again slipped for me. The other one that was really
Dark Materials.
Dark Materials, that's been good.
I mean, do you actually go on the TV and watch, or do you watch them on iPlayer as well?
I watch them on iPlayer. I never watch anything live. I never.
That's what's changed in my life is the TV isn't on in the background. You know what I mean? I mean, it is now, but it's playing the trailer reel from Netflix. It's not terrestrial TV. You know what I mean? I just think it's dead. It's dying. And then when you do switch it on, there's just loads and loads of adverts. And the other thing that changed as well is they started doing what they do in America and making ad breaks longer and having a little ad break. So now X Factor, for example, will be sponsored by fucking Volkswagen or whatever. So you get a little advert before a bunch of adverts, and then a little advert, and then a recap of what you've just watched in case you're stupid and you've completely forgot. So when you look at it and you actually break something like the X Factor down, there's about 25 minutes of actual program. Everything else is introducing what you've already seen.
They do that on Below Deck. They do that on Below Deck a lot.
They do it on a lot of reality TV show because they're not stupid and they know it'll make money. But it pisses me off. I'm like, I've just watched this. And with Below Deck, it's especially confusing. Because I'm like, they show it, but they don't show it in order. So you're like, you can never work out where you are. It's
I remember there was a thing. There was a thing, particularly one of the. And I know you don't watch it, Lummy, but there was an incident where a guy was getting out of one of the crew. There's no one on the boat. It's just the crew, so they're having a bit of a party. One of them's a bit pissed. He gets to get out of the jacuzzi, slips, and just smashes his head and his leg on the side of the boat. And it looked pretty brutal. But I remember by the end of the episode, in one episode, I'd seen that same thing happen 9 times in one episode because they were showing, what's going to happen on today's show? And then that happened a couple of times. And then the incident happens and then it stops. They take a break. Then they show the incident again. And it just, about 9 times before the end of the show. It got to the point because it was so kind of horrific, the accident. I was kind of just like, Jesus, I think I've seen enough of this now. It's weird.
Do you know what it does to me, though, Gittins? Is it makes me feel like a bastard. Watching television and sitting there going, why are they fucking insulting my intelligence? How come nobody else sees this? And how come people just put up with it? Do you know what I mean? It makes me feel isolated from the rest of the world. No, it doesn't make me feel superior. It makes me feel like, why can't I just simply enjoy stuff that's just there? You know what I mean? Rather than worrying about it. You know what I mean? I can't watch adverts. I know where the shops are. I know what's about. It's very rare that I see an advert and I go, wow, I've never heard of that product. I'm going to go out and immediately buy it. It's not for me. I don't know who it's for, but yeah, the way they set it up.
For people who are out there, and there are a lot of people who like this stuff, and and I agree. A lot of this stuff is cheap TV, all the celebrity programs, all them, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here and all that shit, it's all the same.
I've got my own guilty secrets. I will switch the TV on or I will stream Great British Bake Off. Because I simply like watching these fuckers bake. It's cool.
Okay, so let's go back to shows that we do watch on terrestrial TV. That so we watch Bake Off. I will watch things like Line of Duty, Taskmaster. Yeah, Taskmaster.
What's the games one? What's the games thing? The what's it called? I watched it earlier. The weekly games thing with that guy on it. Jesus, I've lost the name now. It's really good. Is it him? Yeah.
Is
What's
the
it
guy-
called?
The guy from Pointless. Is it called House of
House of Games. House of Games. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
correct.
I've never seen that.
I do actually watch that. Yeah, I will
Now,
watch
if
that.
the TV is on in the background, and the two things that catch my eye, and weirdly enough, they're the only things I ever watch on ITV, and that's You've Been Framed. Yeah, I'd still watch it, man. If it's on, I will sit and
Haven't
watch
seen
it.
that in years. I
will still see and watch it. Basically, it's the same shit that you get on your Facebook videos of people falling over and stuff, but I'll still watch it. There was another one that I've completely forgot.
We never have.
The Chase.
Okay.
It's my favourite quiz show.
Yeah, Chase. Yeah, watch Chase.
We just never have terrestrial TV on in this house. It's only
like you were
ever
saying about trying to
Netflix
cancel
or
your
Amazon
BBC.
or YouTube. You know, it's.
You were trying to get out. You're paying your BBC TV license, weren't you? On grounds of that this year. So you're like, well, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
I guess you'll truly know it's the death.
Well, no. I wasn't trying to get out of paying my TV license. I actually think the TV license is well worth it. I think the content that the BBC puts. No. I think the content. I think the content that the BBC puts out there is brilliant. I think TV shows like His Dark Materials alone is worth the license fee. I think the news output. I think it's a brilliant. The news output used to be good.
In 20 years or so, what's changed for me is occasionally I still forget, and I still think, oh, it's Saturday night. Maybe there's something on telly.
Yeah.
And the fucking isn't. Unless you like Strictly or X Factor or Britain's Got Talent or Masked Singer or that Dancing on Ice, there's pretty much
it's
nothing.
all the same show as well, isn't it? It's just all the same show in a different format.
Not only is it the same show, it's the same production companies as well. Who are all linked by the same execs, and everybody's the same people are on this stuff. That's what gets me with it. You watch something and think, is there no more fucking presenters other than people who've been on, Dancing on Ice? Or
that they're not satisfied with one night of your weekend. They will extend it to the second night as well. So
yeah. That's like with
Sunday night for me. I would going back in a time machine, going back 10, 15 years, maybe more. I would put the TV on a Sunday specifically for things like Sherlock or whatever.
Bullseye.
Whatever David Attenborough was on that week, because that was always on a Sunday night. Or Michael Palin and things like that, and I just can't see.
And going back, it used to be things like Mark Thomas Comedy Product, or I Am Dave Gorman, or things like that. It used to be great on a Sunday.
The biggest, hairiest balls out there. They would put all sorts of crazy. Do you remember The Word? Fucking what's that French thing? Eurotrash. Stuff in there that actually some of it made you feel a bit sick, and it made you feel like you were watching something edgy, and it's sacrificed that edginess for generic bullshit. For me, So I will happily instead stick Amazon Prime or Netflix on and just keep searching until I find something that takes me.
And is that because I guess that might be a kind of chicken and egg thing, but is it because the quality of terrestrial TV programming became so poor that we were kind of forced to go on streaming platforms? Or is it the fact that because there's streaming platforms, because there's on demand, actually we're just in the luxurious position where we can program our own TV network effectively that is unique to us?
That's the idea. However, with the advent of a lot of choice comes at my expense
great responsibility.
The time it takes to decide what to watch, that's what's changed. I'm now not as able to make a choice as I was as quickly as I was 10 or 15 years ago. I will search for ages, and then I'll put something on 5 minutes and I'm like, I didn't actually want to watch this, and turn it on. So it is a bit of a trap. But the other thing that's changed as well is I've got older, and I'm no longer impressed by 19-year-old people with nothing to say on my fucking television screen trying to tell me that this is a way to live, that Love Island is the way to be, or that there's some merit in treating people like shit to get ahead of other people to become fucking famous. And I just don't buy it. And I feel sorry for people that believe that that's a lifestyle, you know what I mean?
Okay, so we go from terrestrial TV, where there are a couple of shows that we will tune into, but we will all watch on catch-up, I think, generally, unless we happen. Like, I saw a tweet yesterday saying, God, Harry Potter's always on ITV. So I was like, oh, great. Stuck that up, because I can always join in a Harry Potter film halfway through and still really enjoy it. So, so I kind of did that yesterday afternoon, a little bit. But... So we're going towards streaming platforms now. How do you find out about programs on streaming platforms? Are you more willing to take a risk, or is it through recommendations mostly? So you kind of you flick through.
Two of my closest people in my life, who I share a lot of recommendations. We have a very kindred spirit when it comes to what we watch. Some slight differences, but mainly we agree that this is good or that's not good. You know what I mean? And the two people I'm closest to that I love to share stuff like that with are the two most fucking idiotic people to recommend things to in your life. If you recommend something, they won't fucking watch it. I'm just like, fuck you guys. I'm sick of them. You and my brother, you both dickheads. That's on the internet. You are dickheads.
This is taking a turn. I'd just like to talk about a show that we we thought we'd give a show a go last night that we'd never heard anything about, and actually we got sort of 5 episodes into it and thought we'd really enjoy it. You might like it, Webby. It's
Love and Bone. Love and Bone. What's that?
No, Shadow and Bone. You see, no. It's a show called Lock and Key. I don't know if you've seen it before.
But I'm expecting your apology any time now, man. I'll take this as your apology. No, but when you tell somebody, your best friend who loves Harry Potter, that you found a show that is pretty much Stranger Things meet Harry Potter, and they just refuse to fucking watch it because they didn't find it first or something.
No, that's not. That's not the case. No,
nobody's told me what the rules of this game are. Do you know what I mean?
I think sometimes if something is over recommended, it kind of puts you off it a little bit. A little bit. And I'm easier, I think, if it's, watch this thing. It was great. You might like it. And leave it there. Let me then do the work myself. Because if I know it. So, for example, when I put on Lock and Key, and I tried to watch it myself a few months ago, and I remember the point I got to. And weirdly, last night I was watching it, and I was like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. I don't think I watched this. I think I watched something completely different because I don't remember any of this happening. And then it got to the point. No. Then it got to the point that I remember happening, and I was like, "No, I have seen this. Weird. I have no idea what it was about this that I just couldn't get into."
How many episodes was that in then?
First episode.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's.
It was going through the mirror. It was the mirror thing. No. It's fine.
The other thing is, I'm the same. My brother recommends stuff to me all the time, but the difference is with him. He's a bit like, have you watched that thing yet? Have you watched that thing yet? And that's the bit that puts me off. It's like, no, I ain't had a chance because something you forget. So my brother's just come out at a point in his life where his kids have grown up and he's got that time back again. And I had all that time, and then I had a kid. So I'm where he was 10 years ago. I ain't got a second to myself, so I've got to be really careful about what I watch. And now he's at that point where I mentioned something and he's finished it 2 days later, and that's what will happen with you. You will pass me by.
Oh yeah.
Because me and Joe are watching it at a snail's pace, and in between that, we've still got to catch up on this week's Bake Off, this week's Ranga Nation, or whatever we're watching that week. You know what I mean? But we have to stagger everything because of family life. That's the way it is.
What about you, Lummy? How do you find out what to watch on streaming devices? Because what streaming devices do we all have? We've all got Netflix, we've all got Amazon Prime, we've all got Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Are there any? I've got Sky Go. You got what?
I've got Apple TV at the minute because I got it free for a year.
Of course. Okay. Oh, nice.
Not much on there.
Have you watched the new Hanks thing, Tom Hanks?
Not yet. I don't even know if that's available to me because I don't get the movies.
All right.
I just get TV shows.
How about you, Lummy? How do you find things that you want to watch on streaming devices? Are they come through recommendations? Is it you read things online? You go, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. How is it?
Usually online
on things.
Usually online, innit? You find stuff out. But when you guys mention stuff as well, I've watched usually people as well that who I see at gigs. They'll say, "Oh, did you watch this the other night?" Because I see them a lot, so they're always on about stuff. We're always talking about.
I think that's the thing. I think that is it now, isn't it? I think it is just in general chat, or you'll see on social media.
Don't forget as well.
Amazing.
we drive to a lot of places, so we're in the car for an hour talking about this shit all the way there and back. You know, so somebody will go, "I just watched, that what's the one at the moment, the Stephen Merchant thing, Outlaws." So
I
in the car.
Messaged me the other day, so I should watch it.
Yeah. So that was brought up in the car. Yeah, we're all right. Took a bit to get into, but I've watched the
trailer
first two.
for it and I thought it looked all right. I just assumed that you've got this down, because the easiest way to decide whether you want to watch something, go on Netflix, put it on.
Does it have John Candy in it? No. Okay, not watching it. Yeah.
Nope, next. Any Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd? Nope. Okay, right. I'm switching it off.
Was it made before 1995? Nope, not watching it.
Got Ted Danson in it. Any?
All that. Yeah, that's it. That is how I do it. Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
But it's not. It's weird, isn't it? Because you do want to still follow a person's career, like Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray.
Well, I just asked you then about Tom Hanks. I want to see that new Tom Hanks one. I watch all the Tom Hanks. Robot. You don't shag a robot. You shag a robot. There's a fly buzzing around me. I keep trying to catch it. Anyway,
maybe it's a spy fly. I will watch that. I like a bit of Tom Hanks. Can't go wrong with Tom, can you? Only done like 2 shit films in 50 years. He's got a pretty good track record.
Are there any TV series that you watch that were based on a film or were spin-offs from a film? Or are there any sort of Netflix originals or something that you'd like to see with the budgets that they have, where you're like, do you know what?
Say, like, what have they got left to franchise out of all this shit?
Well, not really. Like, I think personally, okay, Harry Potter, for example, there was talk about doing a Harry Potter TV series. It turns out the Harry Potter TV series is actually a game show, and it's not going to be
a game show.
It's a Harry Potter game show, testing people's knowledge on Harry Potter. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. I think it's HBO doing it. And everyone thought it was going to be like they're doing with Lord of the Rings, that they're actually doing a Harry. And I think the amount of material that's missed in those books, actually a really good, well-budgeted, well-planned out series of Harry Potter could be brilliant. Could be absolutely brilliant.
Well, they'll do it eventually. You know they will.
I'm sure they will. I mean, it is a series of films. I mean, we said that we don't really want reboots, but actually that is a series of films that I think Webby in particular would like to see done well with decent kids. And
I would.
Decent direction.
I'd like to see just an updated version. A lot of things that cost millions and millions of dollars in those original movies can be done in a TV show now for fucking
could be done on an iPhone nowadays. Yeah.
So I reckon, it could be a good thing. But as for things that are, don't forget, we've still got 2 pretty big ones that are due to come out, and that's the Lord of the Rings, which Amazon have got the rights to. They're doing a series of that, and also the Alien franchise is being turned into some sort of... Now these are things in the 80s,
and Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, in the 80s, you would have never thought they could do that, because they were just unmakeable. Like Dune was an unmakeable film. They couldn't make it. It was just too much going on in the books. The budget would have to be astronomical. The technology wasn't there. All that shit. And they can do it now, standing on their heads. So, as for me, what's left to make, in my opinion, that I'd really love to see is a version of The Name of the Wind, which is the King Killer Chronicles book, which is a fantastic book. It's part of a trilogy. The 3rd book's yet to come out, but it's a great, great series. It'd make a wonderful TV show. It just reads like a TV show or a movie. Hello.
Big team all here.
And also my favourite comic book, Saga, which I can't believe they haven't fucking done yet. Saga is basically Star Wars in space. Star Wars with its balls attached instead of being neutered. So it's not for kids. There's boobies in it and weird aliens and sex scenes and strange things going on. But it's a fucking amazing, epic, beautiful story about the child of two people who weren't supposed to be together. Their planets were at war with each other, a bit like Romeo and Juliet, except in this version they have a baby, and the baby is narrating the story. The kid is narrating the story about how parents met and what trouble they got into because they were fighting on opposite sides of the war. And when they got together and had the baby, both sides of the war came after those two people. Just focused everything on finding these two people and this baby and ruining their family life. It's fucking brilliant. It's funny. It's beautiful. It's something. I mean, this jaded old fart. It still seems, Wheel of Time's coming too. This jaded old cynical old fart still. You know what I mean? It still makes me feel like something fresh is out there, like something good still going on.
So, I guess what films then would you turn into a series if you could? I guess that's what you were saying, Rich, isn't it?
Yeah, I would absolutely. I'd love to see the Harry Potter films turned into a series so that you could get all of that source material out there. I don't know how many seasons. I mean, I guess you'd have to have each.
What about
book would be a separate season? But
what would you think to Back to the Future series? If they took not with Christopher Lloyd, new cast, what would you think? Because what they could do is obviously explore a lot of time periods with that, which they didn't do in the three films. They were limited, weren't they, where they went?
Yeah.
But
honestly, what I would think, Lummy, if they announced that news would be, oh well, here we go. They lasted as long as they could. Here they go.
The events of those three films, they happened in very quick succession, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
There wasn't really, each one ran into the next. It wasn't like there was a year between or anything like that. They all kind of, so it's not like you could explore the time between the films. Be interesting, wouldn't it?
I think it'd have to be a remake, not a reboot.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do Back to the Future, just call it Back to the Future. Do something with time travel and change it completely.
I'd like to see.
And I don't mean just make Marty a
time.
girl and Doc a girl and it's all good. I don't mean that. I mean, find the essence of what makes the story good and just reprogram it for now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, since we're like 6 or 7 years past the future that Marty goes to, it's a bit weird watching it now.
I mean, it'd be interesting. It'd be yeah, exactly. We were talking about that the other day, weren't we? The actually introducing Robin, for example, to that film, it would be nowhere near as impressive to him because their future is our past, and most of the things that they predicted don't exist.
I used to work with this woman with learning disabilities in my previous job, who was obsessed with the music of the Hollies, right?
Right.
The Hollies, a band that were around the same time as the Beatles, but for me, they're just a dog shit band. However, I would listen to these CDs with her to see the joy on her face. She'd sing every note. I'd start singing with her. It was a thing. It was an event. So if I was to sit down and watch Back to the Future with Robin, I think he would be looking at me like I looked at that woman who enjoyed the Hollies.
That's really interesting.
You know what I mean? Like he would have sat there going, "Oh, bless you, Dad. That's really nice that you like this shite." Do you know what I mean? But I just think, 40 years or so is.
Was he doing that when you were watching Home Alone?
No. That's different.
Was it like humouring you, going, "Yeah, it's really funny. Well done."
It's interesting though, because Back to the Future, the musical, obviously has come out, and it hasn't really been updated at all, and that's doing incredibly well. And with new audiences as well.
It's not people like us going to watch it, though, isn't it?
It's not though. It's not. There are people who have never seen. Like I've just finished doing a show with people who are half my age, who know of Back to the Future, but it's certainly not in their lexicon like it is ours.
But
load of them
back
would see
to
it.
It's interesting. Home Alone is an interesting one because. Yes, we haven't got to the bit that everybody loves with the bad guys and the burglary yet. But cast your minds back to the bit where he takes the sledge ride down the stairs and imagine that you're 4 years old.
Yeah.
His little mind went, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just literally was like, oh my God, that looks so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's all you need when you're 4. You don't really have to have a lot of plot exposition.
Martin said this, which I was going to say himself. Ghostbusters TV show.
Totally see that happening. If you, it's that thing, if it's done well, then why not? It's just, if it's not done well, we take it personally. And back to the thing we said last week about when's a fan not a fan.
I also think that Mandalorian, with that new technology they used, with the screens and showed what you can actually do now. I think that's just the game changer for all this stuff. You can actually do high budget, high concept stuff on TV now that would have been.
Speaking of Mandalorian, dude, wouldn't anybody mind if I threw this into the ring and said, "What about Star Wars? If they remade those last 3 movies or the prequels, would your brain accept those as Star Wars stories if it was exactly the same, but they chopped it up into bits? So series 1 of the prequel series, for example, will tell the story of the Phantom Menace, but it'd do it properly, spend a bit more time, better effects, better actors. Would your brain accept that, or is there something in the format of a movie that makes you go, "I've just definitely seen a movie now, and it's separate to that"?
No. I think I would find a fan if they concentrated on the right things in that film and they were able to explain some of the exposition much better than they were able to do in the film. I'd be quite interested in seeing a TV series of that.
It all still depends on
the Mandalorian and
it always
right.
It always depends on the quality of it, doesn't it, as well? If they make a TV show, it might be this Lord of the Rings one that's coming out, they spent an absolute fortune on it. Doesn't mean it's going to be good. Might be absolute crap if it's not written well, but you know, so it's just.
That's the thing, you've got to keep an integrity, haven't you? I mean, yeah.
Do you though? Because Disney disagree with you there, Rich. Disney will say,
but then
fuck your integrity, fuck what you want as a geek. We are Disney. We're putting this out.
I get that, but that's a different thing.
We know we're going to upset people, but this is what we do, and we.
I get that. I get that, but that's a slightly different thing. I think it's a slightly different point because yes, that's always going to happen. But
if you're talking about
they have done the Mandalorian, which has been great. We're looking forward to seeing Hawkeye.
That is
like it's going to be great. WandaVision.
They relinquished some of that control and gave it back to the people that they've started believing in, because they've proven that if you get a geek involved behind the scenes, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be better than if you've got a bunch of fucking.
Exactly. I wish for your benefit more than anyone else's that they would just get somebody, to with some integrity and some foresight to plan the Muppets better and take the helm there for you. Because I think that would be a much better thing to do, that would have fans in mind, but an eye on the future at the same time, and hold that balance. And
I'm personally invested in the Muppets because I fucking love them, and I just want to see them done right by. That's all. It's just for the next generation of people. However, what I have to accept is that people are still enjoying this content because they've been force-fed shitty TV that I've avoided watching for the past.
I know quite a few people who liked the Muppet Haunted House.
I'm on that group, and I keep seeing people comment on it all the time. And again, it makes me feel like a bastard because then I'm like, well, what's my problem? Why can't I enjoy it and just let go? Anyway, I've got a pecking order, and some stuff isn't important to me. Believe it or not, Star Wars isn't important to me. I kind of just go, fuck it, whatever. I'm lucky that I like the Mandalorian as a good indication that I might like some of these other TV shows. I'm not expecting the movies to suddenly start doing what I want them to do. But things like the Muppets, some things, the Muppets is a good example for me, but I can't actually think of another one. But for some reason, the Muppets feels a bit personal, whereas everything else, it doesn't feel really personal. It's not my problem. Do you know what I mean?
Indiana Jones, Lummy.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like Indiana Jones Chronicles, it was a really good TV show. I would really love to see like a Netflix original or whoever can sort of work with that material and hold the licensing for that. I'd love to see a decent budgeted TV series about Indiana Jones. Phenomenal.
In the old days, right? When you just
and put out on a Sunday night, put out on a Sunday afternoon, so you can watch it on a Sunday afternoon as well. I think the scheduling of TV shows is important too.
The interesting thing about Indiana Jones Chronicles was they planned another series of it before it got cancelled, and the series was going to link into the movies more. You were going to see characters like Belloc coming into it and stuff like that, and it got cancelled before that series. And I think George Lucas had written them all; they were all done. All the episodes were ready to go. It just got.
This is the thing. This is where they fail. They can't seem to predict who is actually going to watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, if Indiana Jones is this amazing property that we all agree on, we all think it's great, why do I feel so nervous about this next movie coming out?
Why did nobody came out?
There's no excuse for not enough people watching the Indiana Jones, young Indiana
Jones. One of the problems with Indiana Jones they've got, and this is Disney's problem really to solve, and they've got them in the movies, that they've got to deal with the Nazis, and they're not going to stick that as a Disney Plus show. They just won't do it. They're not going to have the main.
That's a really good point. Could they have Soviets instead? Well, they could move to the Soviets then, couldn't they?
They tried that in the last one.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, didn't
they? Oh yeah, no, but they did not really, did they? They tried that, but they didn't really work on the Soviet threat.
You can't
as such.
tell me
It
that
was
Ray
everything.
Winston's accent in that was not a Russian accent.
But it was the Russians who were there.
It was the Russians, but it was the story that they tried to tell that let it down, not the characters that they were trying to tell.
There's so many things wrong with it.
Yeah, I think the thing is the Nazis are such good bad guys to have in something that you can't really beat them. And the timeline of Indiana Jones, it kind of, you think, well, who would be the, like you just said, the Russians, who would the other bad guys be? Unless they invented another kind of thing to have as it's kind of even a made up one, but it's always been set in a real world setting. It's not like Star Wars where you can have an emperor of something or a stormtroopers.
You could have the American government, the CIA.
You could.
The CIA, he's trying to go and get these treasures, and the CIA want to get them because they want to do some testing and some.
I always think an animated series would be good for Indiana Jones because you could still have.
Interested, yeah.
Because I don't think. They've never done an animated series, and it would be quite an interesting one. But I used to like the Indiana Jones Chronicles; that were good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, but why didn't people watch it? I know it was good. I know it was big budget.
I'll tell you why. Because it felt like I think people got bogged down in the history lesson aspect of it rather than the action adventure. They didn't want to sit through it going, "Oh, we're learning stuff." It was like, "Where's the whip? Where's the hat? Where's he doing his thing?"
You've hit the fucking nail on the head there, mate. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, it might be partially to do with the fact that I think in England it got sold to Sky, and not everybody had Sky.
Yeah,
so we weren't able.
I used to have to get it taped off my auntie used to tape me.
Yeah, it was on Sky One, wasn't it?
She used to tape me. Yeah.
That's weird. We used to get a tape every so often with like 10 episodes of The Simpsons on.
Yeah.
One of our
also it had the old.
But we couldn't watch it.
It had the bookends of each show as well. Had the old Indiana Jones talking about his past. And I don't think people like that. And when they brought them out again on DVD, they cut all them out and extended it.
Really?
Yeah, and they put them together as 2-hour movies. And they got the guy back to refilm scenes to intercut between them to make them bridge because it used to be an hour episode. And you can tell that they refilmed it.
They never expected Harrison Ford to live as long to actually become old ass Indiana Jones. Do you know what I mean?
He's one of the young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He's in at the start and end telling the story. They've kept that one in, where it's set in 1950, I think, and he's in it, and he's like driving along, and he goes into this log cabin. He's talking about when he used to play the saxophone in a club, and they were filming The Fugitive at the time. So he's got like a big beard as Indiana Jones, but yeah.
I'm thinking as well, right? Going back to the original point about streaming and why it's different, if it's different, better, whatever we want to call it. The other thing is that even the past. I mean, I've watched a lot of new content coming to Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I've enjoyed a lot of it. I've been surprised by a lot of it. But I can absolutely guarantee you that I would have never seen anything like any of it on BBC, ITV, or Channel 4. Ever. You can't tell me they were going to make Stranger Things or The Boys or Umbrella Academy. No chance. They haven't got the balls to do that.
Also, I guess, TV's restricted in that respect as well. Whereas, I guess Netflix and that they can put on whatever they want. Really, there's
Sorry, Lummy. Sorry, go on.
Like so, BBC, ITV, and everything. They'll have guidelines over here. What they've got to strict guidelines that they got.
You're still subject to the watershed.
Yeah, we can't do this, we can't do that. And there'll be all these execs, whereas Netflix seems to go, you know what, we'll take a go at this, we'll have a go because we've got the money to do it.
You want to watch Dave Chappelle at 6:30 in the morning, you knock yourself out.
I think, okay, so, all right, the thing that I disagree with about that is, okay, I know you're saying that they wouldn't make that on Channel 4 or BBC or ITV and those sorts of things. But they have been, but I think that's a British TV versus American TV thing, because in America, they were making The Wire, they were making The Sopranos, and they're making Deadwood, and those shows were being aired on it's just on our terrestrial TV. It's just that they weren't funding those in the first place.
That's different.
So they were palatable enough to be aired. It's just that they weren't taking the risk.
All three of those seasons and others were made by HBO, and HBO was always in America a pay-for service. Always has been.
Was The Wire HBO? I don't know if The Wire was it?
It was. Pretty sure about that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I meant our channels over here that they've got us. And
don't get me wrong, we have a groundbreaking content with people swearing, British stuff that's been made. But what I mean is, there's a difference in quality and scope, if you like, ambition of Netflix. So Netflix started as you're Googling it, aren't you?
The Wire said it was HBO, that was all.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah. No, it was.
Hang on, no. But my point is, Netflix experimented, and that experiment paid off. They took the money they'd made by getting subscriptions from people that were watching stuff that was all from not HBO, because it wasn't them, AMC, BBC, all these different TV. They just bought the best of everything. So at one point you could go watch Fawlty Towers or Alan Partridge or League of Gentlemen on Netflix. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember what the first show was, but they started experimenting and releasing their own content, and people really were surprised by the quality of it and the fact that it was any good at all. And then they got an even better fucking system, and they started convincing all these Hollywood celebrities to start appearing in TV shows, and it blew the fucking doors off. So now you sat there watching, I don't know, what was I watching the other week? The Office, or something like that. And The Office has got Ricky Gervais, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, John Krasinski. It's just got star after star after star. It's fucking insane. Bad example, because that wasn't made for Netflix, but you know what I mean? So now you've got, for example, right in front of me now, the latest Ryan Reynolds and The Rock film, straight to Netflix. No cinema, no fucking around, no DVD, straight to Netflix. And the last 3 or 4 Ryan Reynolds films have kind of either been Disney Plus or Netflix, straight on there. So I just think it's a more suitable balance for me. I like to be treated like an adult. I like to be able to watch whatever I want, whenever I want, and not be told that I've got to tune in at a specific time, you know.
So the point you just made kind of brings me to a question later on that I sort of I mentioned earlier about whether there's going to be a point where actually everything comes straight to streaming services. Like we had during the pandemic, we've seen an example of it, and you've seen for the benefit of cinemas and the employees of cinemas and all that they're trying to kind of reclaim that cinema culture to keep that alive. And I think that's great. But do we think there is going to be a point where actually people just ain't going to go to the cinemas anymore, and people will be spending 30 quid on renting a film at home instead of going to the cinema so that them and 6 mates can watch it? Like they did with Black Widow and things like that. Or do you think there was always going to be that desire? Because people's TVs are getting bigger and fancier as well. The sound systems are. Or do you think there's always going to be that desire? Do you think cinema in its projection is always going to stay one step ahead?
I think cinemas are having to be a lot more careful about their approach to things. Now, it's easy to feel sorry for the cinema industry. I worked in a cinema for years. I know
we all did.
Exactly. Yeah. We know how much money they made that they did not fucking deserve just by having the rights to show that film. And
just by selling pick and mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't forget that's how a lot of they had to make the money by selling that, as we know, because the distribution deals to a cinema, they don't get the films for free. They've got to take money off the, so some films are coming in and they had 70% of the box office, some of them, that they took, the movie distributors took. So you think they've got 30% of that. It's still a lot of money, but it's not like, that's why the prices were so high, and they still are.
I understand that. And it's always been a gamble, right? Going to the cinema, choosing to go invest your time in 2 hours of watching a movie has always been a gamble. For me, more often than not, these days, that gamble doesn't pay off because 50-50, the movie's probably going to be shit, and I'm going to feel like I've been ripped off. So I like to do a little bit more planning now and do a little bit more research as to whether I'm going to go watch this film at the cinema. I don't want to waste my money or waste my time. I think the cinemas are nervous, and rightfully so. For so long, they've been told that the cinema is a massive, important part of things, and we need that. It needs the time on a big screen. And with the pandemic, it's been proven that they don't actually. They can still make money from movies, just streaming them straight away. People will still pay for movies to watch them in their own home. And this whole ethos we've got now that the world is trying to convince us we've missed stuff over this past year and a half or so that we didn't really miss that much, but they're telling us we did. We missed going to the cinema. We missed going to I didn't miss any of that shit. I'm really sorry. I wish I did. I'm scared at how much.
Hang on a minute. Quick shout. Hello.
Hey up.
There you go.
Hey up, Amanda.
Yeah. So for me, they're rightfully nervous, and the whole entertainment industry should be a bit nervous because people's mindsets have changed. Even when we're going out now, I watched a comedian tell a joke about this the other day. Even when we're going out, we still can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
We've all become
it's interesting. I don't know where it'll end because it could phase all the streaming stuff. Could phase cinemas out. It really could.
And do we think that we'll be kind of watching things in virtual reality as well, with the way that obviously Facebook are going and Meta and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course.
Are we eventually going to end up in like a big virtual reality world, just like Thingy?
I won't. I don't think I will. I'm not interested in it. I'm less interested in gaming than I've ever been. I'm just not interested. I'll tell you what has changed.
More interested or less interested in gaming?
Less interested in gaming than I've ever been. I mean, when I'm playing at the minute, I'm just sticking a bit of Lego Marvel on or something. I'm not playing anything big.
So you can never see like a Ready Player One style world for you?
Not for me, no.
Where you get all your entertainment and sort of you go to the bank via a virtual reality.
This is about as close as I want to get to that, because I realise that it's actually a massive fucking con.
Do you know what? Right, I was just thinking about the whole cinema experience thing, and correct me if I'm wrong. Back in the day, we're older now. We know what a cinema used to be like before you could go in at any time and watch any film. I think that's the problem now. There's so much choice, like there is with the streaming. You don't have to queue for films anymore. You can go watch whatever you want anytime. Now, part of the experience back when we were kids was going and waiting in line to see a film, and you were like, the hype and everybody waiting, and they're all in it together. You're waiting for this experience. That's been stripped away now.
You're right. But you're right. But the thing to the antithesis of that is the fact that we've just explored the fact that we all want convenience and we want to be home and we don't want to be doing that. It's weird, isn't it?
But
this is a nurture thing.
But do you want that, or would you rather go to a full cinema? With 1,000 seats, like we used to with Odeon 1, and go, everybody's experiencing this thing. I remember going to see GoldenEye, right? That when Pierce Brosnan, first Bond film, I went with my brother to see that. Rammed cinema, 1,000 seats, went in, and the atmosphere in there was amazing. It was like a concert, a real, like, this is the new Bond film. We managed to get in. We were sat right at the left-hand side of the cinema, because it was so full, like a couple of seats left, and you managed to get in and sit there. And then it starts with the Bond thing. You think,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say, I can generate that own excitement if it's a product that I want to watch enough. That
with your hand,
naturally to me, anyway, with my hand. That excitement comes to me naturally. I've got a projector. I would much rather just set my projector up, plug it into my Bluetooth speaker, sit on my own sofa with my own food that hasn't cost me a fortune, be able to pause it to go to the toilet if I need to. But you're right, I would miss that viewing company a bit.
Well, here's one.
But I don't like watching it with loads of other people. If I was sat watching it with you guys, we're doing a stream watch. When you're watching it at your home, he's watching it at his home, and we're watching it together. I'd love that. I would love
Here's one for you then.
To cinema.
Are you guys going to not go see Ghostbusters then at the cinema?
I am, because I want to see it.
I'm off to see Ghostbusters cinema, hopefully.
Lummy. Now, this is a bit of a different one, because I know Gittins' feelings about this. It's very rare there's a movie that appears that he wants to go to see. Even if it's one of those films that everybody's saying, you've got to see this on the big screen.
I will wait
I know how different it is for him to decide to see this at the cinema. For me, it's not that unusual. For a big movie, I will still go see it at the cinema, and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what's different now for me is that I'm constantly bombarded by this thing, by propaganda all the time. If I go outside, I'm either going to get called a fucking out of touch, crusty old white man with white privilege, or I'm going to get beaten up, or I'm going to get stuck in a queue with some Karen, and I'm going to have to watch some cunt go off at people for doing the job. And that's the thing that's putting me off more than ever is humanity. It's not, do you know what I mean? That's my reasons for not wanting to go outside, and not because I'm like agoraphobic. It's because there's people out there, and I don't know if you've looked around lately, but they're horrible. They're fucking horrible.
I think those people have always been there, man. But the opinionated thing,
I didn't have to listen to them all the time, Rich, and now they've got an avenue to say their opinion all the time.
Yeah, you have an avenue.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am. You still don't have to listen to them, though. It's like, right, I'll tell you, there's, the comedy industry has got all these forums.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the comedy forums have got all these things set up, all these comedy forums on Facebook and stuff, and people argue all day on there about who they've seen and all this stuff, and the politics of comedy and that. Now I choose never to participate in that because it's all shit. Exactly. All of it is shit. And I think I go on Facebook to plug gigs I'm doing, or shows we're doing like this. You know, you put the advert up, say we're doing this. If you want to join in, come and have a chat with us. We'll have a bit of a laugh. That is all I use
in the comments section to make myself demonstrably less happy, or I could use it for
yeah,
the purposes.
I literally go on, put the post, and then fuck off because I think I don't want to spend any time with these people who are in this fucking cesspool of shit. You know, it's awful. But you can switch off from it, and I do it all the time with things. I go, I'm off. I'm out of here. I'm not bothered about what they say. You know,
look at my past, if you take my past 5 years as an example of my social media presence, I'm not on Twitter, not on Instagram, I'm not on TikTok. The only one I'm on is Facebook, and I hate myself for it, but I don't use it. I only ever try to put either things that I think are important that might change somebody's mind about a certain subject, but generally not my opinion, just somebody's regurgitated article or factoid or whatever. Or I try to put something positive out there, something funny out there, something interesting that happened to me. But I very rarely comment. I'm terrified of the hate that comes with it. I'm terrified that there are that many people out there that are so miserable with themselves. All they can do is bring other people down. That's not for me.
Do you know what always interests me with Facebook, right? You have all your friends on there, don't you, right? And people put these things up saying, oh, this, I've got, like you just said there, you post something to try and change somebody's mind and things like that. And you think, why are you friends with people who you want to who haven't got kind of the same way of thinking as you in a way?
Oh,
you know
God, no. Well, I'm friends with loads of people who don't think the same. I think it's important to have
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's people who go on Facebook, not you, Webb. I mean, people who go on and they say, look at this that's happened, and they try and the like. I know people who are friends with people they hate on Facebook. They absolutely hate them. And you think, why are you in a situation where you've got people on Facebook that you can't fucking stand? Why?
Yeah. Okay, no.
Delete, unfriend.
Okay, so during the pandemic, there were some people that I was friends with who I have unfollowed, so I don't have to see their dickhead conspiracy theories, because I find them both utterly insensitive and quite damaging to public discourse, some of the opinions that some of these people have. But at the same time, and one of them is somebody I inherited from a previous relationship, and actually I know deep down inside the guy's a really nice guy. And I think there's a thing that James O'Brien, the radio host, says: it's compassion for the conned and contempt for the con men. Compassion for the conned and contempt for the con men.
Piece of what I want to say about it as well, right? You don't always know that people feel that way, and something happened in the past few years. It's something I think I'm pigeonholing a bit, but it's something to do with the fact that since people like Trump got into power, and the idea that you can debate a fact came about.
Oh, don't.
Right?
I heard my name. I heard my name.
The BBC started this, and I love the BBC. But when they started having a flat earther versus an actual scientist in a debate of facts.
I just want to say thanks for having me. You mentioned my name.
Okay, look, so you've got that whole thing about I choose not to believe that fact.
Just ignore Donald, Webb.
I'm not going to ignore him. He's the fucking problem. No, but seriously, people think that you can debate a fact, right?
Fake news.
To debate a fact, you have to be smarter than the person that came up with that fact, right? And you have to categorically. There should be some evidence. It should be evidence-based, proof-based, but it isn't. It's opinion-based.
Yeah.
So you can't argue with an idiot. So when you discover that some of the people on your Facebook are anti-vaxxers or flat earthers or fucking whatever, you can't argue with them. There's no point. It's much easier to just snooze them for 30 days and hope that they grow.
That is exactly what I've done with this friend. I spent the first 6 months of the pandemic arguing with him. Then I found myself on my birthday, a year arguing. Then I found myself arguing with him on my birthday, and then suddenly I went, do you know what, dude? Today's my birthday. I don't need to be arguing this, and I just unfollowed him. There and then I was like, boom, you don't get to see any of my posts. I don't get to see yours. But if you flick through, we're still friends, I guess. Because he hasn't done anything like horrible. He's been swept up in a QAnon con, and I feel sorry for him. Sorry for him. Compassion for the con and contempt for the con men.
I get to that point with you sometimes where I see how miserable some oaf has made you on Twitter, and I think, switch it off. It is turning you into a prick. It's making you fucking miserable.
Hang on, whoa. Let's go back to what you were just saying there, dude. Dude, go back to what you were just saying there, because that's not true. It's not turning me into a prick.
When it happens, and it's recognizable when it happens. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you just get through, but it makes you into a miserable prick. And people can get to you in that way. And there's this sort of false...
I think you're talking about something that's happened quite a long time ago. I haven't...
There's another thing as well. So there's a thing like a while back, going back before the pandemic, you would often phone me or text me and tell me, I just got into a fight on Twitter with so-and-so. And I type, and I pressed enter, fixed. I fixed the problem. I fixed the internet. And I'm like, that is not... Okay, there's this illusion that just because you've posted your opinion in black and white onto the internet, that it somehow it makes it concrete, it lasts forever, it's written in stone. And that's what I feel like some people believe about the internet. And I just think it's the opposite of that.
It's exactly that. You write something on the internet, it is written in stone, it is there forever, and it's always going to be there.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Not in stone, is it? It's in black and white on the internet.
Well,
but it's not.
It's very true.
It's not a law. It's not the way it is now. Oh yeah,
but people are always going to have their opinions
on it. I realised it was right, so yeah, it's changed.
But that's going to back. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not. Yeah, okay. I think.
But I've never actually been trolled because I'm really cautious about it, and I just I think it would make me feel awful.
I've never been trolled either. Lummy had an incident.
Racist a few weeks ago, made you feel
I wasn't.
Bad. You were arguing with a idiot for weeks about it.
Hang on a minute. What did you say about? Did you say I had a troll once?
You had some on the discount comedy.
Oh, I've had loads of trolls, man, but I ignore the fuck out of it. I once had somebody on one of my impression videos on YouTube say, "I hope somebody shoots you and you fucking die." That is what they said.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
On YouTube. Did I go, fuck you fucking, it's only an impression video. I just left it. I think, I don't give a fuck what these people say. Because the keyboard jockeys, they're scared to come out and actually say something. But I will go back to what you said, Webb, about not going out because people are awful out there. There's some nice people out there, Webb.
Yeah,
there's some nice people.
There are way more nice people. And this is
what does he say in Superman? Is it there are good people, Kal-El. You've just got to show them the way.
There are way more nice people out there in the world than there are bad people. And if you do go on social media, the problem is if you go out for a meal and you have a good meal, you might tell one or two people you had a good meal. If you had a bad meal, you tell 10 people that you had a really bad meal. People would much rather.
And if you're a prick,
outrage.
If you're a prick, you'll post every single picture of your meal on Facebook instead of having a nice time. That's my pet.
Outrage sells, which is why news stories have one good news story right at the end if you're lucky, because otherwise it's outrage that sells.
But dude, okay, going back to what I said, right, about going out. Yes, I know that wasn't my point. I'm not saying there aren't any good people out there. What I'm saying is your phone and your social media will tell you there aren't.
Yeah.
All the time.
We've just got to do a quick. We've got to do a quick message from our sponsor here. Don't forget, Home Alone coming out soon. Disney Plus.
The thing is, my problem is we're going to the cinema. Is one, I'm very conscious that if I'm a fidgeter, so I'm very conscious that my fidgeting is going to frustrate other people because I get frustrated. Just you, because I get frustrated. 420 limit.
That's good. Friend on How many friends have you got on Facebook? How many friends do you have on Facebook?
I
don't know.
Have a look, you lazy bastards.
Well, just hold on there, guys.
Sorry, viewers. I'm just going to do what Lummy says. And
people say we haven't got any original content.
This is
1,256.
Oh.
What?
I don't know.
None?
No friends. How many did you have, Rich?
Wow, I'm nowhere near as greedy as Gittins.
1,379.
But that happens when you're gigging, though. But being you for work in our industry, it is important to be because we're freelance. It is. So it ends up. So I don't actually use Facebook anywhere near as much as I used to. I tend to mostly use it if I get a little whim or something funny I want to put on there, I'll do it. But generally, I post far fewer political things on there.
But the thing is, Rich, as well, when you post something funny on there, often it's not the people that don't like you that disagree with that. It's the people that like you and are meant to be your friend that will bring you down and say, that's not funny. You know what I mean? Or try and run with your joke and miss the point of your joke. Anyway, I was going to say, answers in the comments. How many friends do you think Webby's got? Have a guess. I'll just leave it open to them. I'll give you a clue. It's nowhere near as much as Lummy, and
I reckon
less than
152.
Nah, I'd say 460.
I bet it's not that many. I think you're very careful.
I'm not like.
I think you're very careful on there, though. You.
Not as careful as I should be.
I think. Can we also? I think the fact that they're called friends, they're labelled friends. They're not. I think Amanda has made a really good point here. You don't have 1,000+ friends. You don't.
No.
But it's because they're called friends on Facebook.
They should have a separate category, shouldn't they? Acquaintances, colleagues.
But it is. It's people you know or people you. But you don't even know. I've got some friends on the internet who I've never met in real life, but actually have been really good friends over the last year. You know, but then I used to have pen friends when I was a kid as well. It's the same thing.
I reckon I've got some better friends on Facebook without having met them than people I actually have met.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Probably, yeah.
There are some people who've totally had my back over the last year that I've never met before, and I have no idea why. But then I realise actually, when I've seen them being down or in a quandary, I've been there for them as well. It's that going back to the thing. There are way more nice people out there. Why is it that we're...
This is good. My criteria: would I feel weird going for a sober lunch with them? Well, Webb's always drunk, so he won't get the opportunity.
Right now.
Okay, so
what I will say is, it doesn't matter if we get any comments or not, but no matter how many friends I do have, I could easily halve it without fucking blinking. Because, like you say, the people I just met, when I went out a night out and somebody were there, I'm like, oh, you're all right, let's be friends on Facebook and maybe we'll get together in the future and do something amazing. You know what I mean? I could easily halve it because half of these people mean nothing to me. Nobody at school means anything to me, man. They fucking didn't like me back then. I don't know why they think they want to be friends with me now.
There was a guy who used to work with us at the cinema who tried to have me. I won't mention his name, but he used to be a right twat and he used to bully everybody. What did you say?
Oh, I said tell us after.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you after. And he sent me a friend request on Facebook. I thought, you used to be a right twat to everybody, and I bet you still are. I thought, no, why? You were always an asshole to everybody. So I thought, no, you're not adding you.
I did a search on my school bully from when at primary school who used to bully everybody.
And you went and hunted him down.
No, I did a check, just a check. 30 years or so later.
Honestly, I used to do a monthly cull, and anyone who I'd kind of just never communicate, I just cull the fuck out of them. Sorry, Webby, but the way it got worse, it was when somebody from school. He became a friend. I was like, actually, you've got a couple of racist opinions. I'm not that keen on your, opinions and stuff. We don't speak. I haven't seen you since like GCSE French, so I'm just going to call you. And then I got a private message from him going, "Oh, mate, what's happened? You've deleted me as a friend. I thought we were like friends." And I felt awful. And I had to be like, "Oh, I don't know how that happened."
Did you put new phone? Who this?
It felt awful. I was like, "Shit!" I obviously meant way more to that guy than he ever. You
should have put that. You should have put that. I obviously meant way more than.
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I know.
I used to have a monthly call, and I haven't had one since then. Sorry,
but that's a weird one, isn't it?
Speaking of hurt feelings, sometimes in the studio, our artists would get hurt feelings if I didn't use their ideas.
Or pay them the money.
It's come out with the end of the story. That was the end of the story. That was the end of the story.
These corkers. Yeah, man. I mean, that comment about me being Thanos is probably way more accurate. The only reason I'm not despotic and ready to wipe you all out is because I'm not powerful, influential, or rich enough. But if I were, you can guarantee you'd all be gone. Most of you.
Wow. Cheers, man. Would we make the cut or not? I don't know.
Crikey.
What if you had to snap one of us away?
Well, oh God. Well, I think it's
See
clear
ya.
who that'd be.
You won.
Which one's coming to a
Oh,
wedding?
well, who's best man? Fucking hell, yeah. Would
Try
you
it,
snap?
Webby, try
I'm
it.
only kidding.
Try
Would
it.
you-
Do a click.
Would you snap the best man away, or would you snap the person who's just
Do it.
turning up at night? You?
I'm clicking, dickheads. Ah.
Ah, cheers, Webb. Ah,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
man.
You get to exist in my new world order.
That's
I hope you like.
good.
I hope you like emptying my human-sized cat tray.
he's back. Oh, he's back. You messed up. I'm gonna have to. Do you want to go back to
Yeah.
where you are?
Yeah, do it for weird here.
There you
There
go.
we go.
There you go.
So going back to the whole kind of streaming service, going to the cinema, things like that. So personally, like in my ideal world, I would love actually if technology went away to be able to go to the cinema in virtual reality, sit there and the whole thing happen around. That'd be amazing. I would love
You wouldn't
that.
go. There's other people there. You'd be like, oh, even though they're
No.
I'm not
Virtual
fucking
reality. You put the virtual reality on, and you are there in the cinema. That's what I mean. You put the virtual reality on.
Yeah.
I'll be but I've never tried VR. I'm trying it for the first time next week when I come up to Leeds, hopefully. And I'm so excited about it. Genuinely, it's the only reason I'm coming to your wedding. I'm so excited about trying VR. I've never done it in my life. I want to do something scary.
I tell you what, man, when you do it for the
shit
first
myself
time,
in
one of the
VR.
coolest things you can do is go on Google Maps. You can just fucking walk around the world. Go to
Really?
California. Yep. You can pull up
Really?
Google Maps, shows you the satellite image. You can zoom into fucking Las Vegas or wherever you want, and you can go just toddling about.
What? Can you go into Street View and walk around?
Yeah.
VR did a
much, yeah.
VR music album. It was amazing. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I'm really intrigued by VR. I really want to experience it. I really want to have a go. I saw my mate's kid having a go in a haunted house thing over Halloween.
Have you?
And it was just brilliant. It was the look on this kid. He was like, nope.
Have you got VR then, Webb? What have you got?
I haven't got a VR.
Webby hasn't got it. His brother has.
Oh, right.
Got it. Yeah. I think we're
My nephew's got one. What's it called? Oculus.
Oculus Rift.
He's got one of them, and I had to go on the Star Wars game on it. Because
What's it
I
like?
did. I only played the first bit, but I couldn't do it very well because it really threw me out. And you were like, I don't know what how to control it. It was very bizarre.
It's really weird when you look down and you know your feet are on your own living room floor, but you can see space underneath it. It's weird.
Yeah.
I
had to go on. I had to go on
some all them Home Alone videos of people falling into the TV or breaking a lamp.
Yeah.
I don't laugh at them. I've got sympathy for them because it is really disorienting. I don't know why people go sit the fuck down. Sit down. You're safer. Sit down and do it.
I had to go on a shooting one on the PS, whatever it was as well, PS4, on the virtual reality at somebody's house, and that was sat down in like this minecart with these clowns and stuff, like a haunted thing where you shot, and that was quite good. That was all right, but I was very aware that I wasn't falling, and people go, oh, you'll like think you're gonna tumble over. I'm like, nah, I won't really.
Whose cat is that?
But yeah,
Clever girl.
I would
Get that cat out of here.
I would love to have a go. So do you think
do
you think the cinema experience will happen via VR eventually? It's gonna, isn't it? It's gonna happen.
I'd want it to be where you could optional have people in the film with you, like annoying, like somebody on the phone at the side of you. You can have these optional extras, somebody talking all the way through it.
So that is my reason for not.
An analogy that I feel Gittins is going to fucking love, right? I want to talk about the streaming services, and imagine that they're all forced to wrestle each other in a WD40 wrestling match. Right, imagine that they've got to wrestle. Who is the main contender? Who's the biggest star? Who's the fucking Macho Man, Randy Savage, or whatever the week? Like, of all these streaming services, if you imagine them in a combat situation, who's kicking the shit out of each other now? Who's winning?
Who's the big dog? Who's the one where?
Nah, for me, there isn't. For me, it's not Disney. I struggle with Disney. I find it very difficult to find anything I want to watch on Disney unless there's a bit of a retro, an old classic that I want to watch. Like, I will watch most of my Christmas films probably on Disney. But then I have Sky TV. But I have Sky Go, so I'm able to watch all of Sky Cinema. So they have loads of festive films out anyway. It's gonna Amazon occasionally has a couple of good things.
Amazon though, it's got to be Netflix because Amazon. I will say this about Amazon. Sometimes they'll do that thing where they put a couple of seasons on a summer, and then you got to pay for the rest. And you're like, where Netflix, you know, going on Netflix, everything's free, don't you?
Yeah.
For me, I think the pecking order for me, like the top slot is Netflix because they give you everything. You don't have to pay for anything. So again, on Amazon and Apple TV, you've got to pay for certain movies if you want to watch them. The next one I would put on is All 4 because it's free.
All 4 is brilliant. All 4 is brilliant.
Content on All 4 going back.
All 4 is wonderful. So many great films, brilliant TV shows, Space, Brass Eye, all of that stuff. It's amazing. Yeah.
Amazon, I agree with Lumb. It lets me down because I'll watch season 1 or something, and then I'm like, oh, come on, I'm not paying for season 2. I'm not stupid. So Amazon loses out there. Plus, I do think some of their original content is pretty weak. Some of it's been great, but some of it's been a bit iffy. But then, I think Disney Plus comes in and suckers Amazon Prime for me because I'm a sucker for a good old Disney movie or a Pixar movie. So I've got all that, but then Stars TV or whatever it is, it's got tons of movies on it. Some of the original adult movies, adult content on there. Do you know what I mean? I can't believe on my home screen of Disney Plus, right? You've got like Monsters Inc. and Cars that the kid watches right next to things like Halloween or, you know, the scary shit. They've put it all on. I can't believe Disney have even put this stuff on the same screen. You should have to go into a different place for it. Because
horror films.
Kids are going to end up...
that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
So, I think Disney Plus has the potential, because of Marvel, Star Wars, and all the Disney stuff, to even creep up on Netflix eventually. But Netflix have got such a fucking head start on them all. You know what I mean? So
for me, I think the streaming services have it over everything else. I genuinely do. I think whether they will have to change, whether laws will be brought in. Because I know certain governments in certain countries bring in certain laws to help out their terrestrial networks because everyone's just gone to streaming services. But I do think at some point it is going to. I do think we're probably going to lose cinemas. We're certainly not going to have as many cinemas.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like only today I saw that the new Bond film's out tomorrow on streaming in USA, I think.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah. It's like, what are they doing that for? That's so odd.
Because they've made the little bit of money they needed to say they made that money
in that first weekend.
Was it out in America earlier than over here?
No, but what I'm saying is, they've released it knowing that they were only going to get half or whatever the amount of people that went to see it. They weren't going to make much money. They thought, we'll cut our losses as long as we still make a bit of money, and it made more than they were hoping to make, so they can do whatever they want now. So this. The thing that's changed is the illusion that things must go to the cinema. That's what they do. A film comes out, goes to the cinema, and then you've got to wait for 6 months before you can watch it anywhere else. And that's what we were told is the rule. And people like Netflix completely bucked that trend by going, fuck that. You can have our brand new movie with all these people you recognize, all these stars right now for the amount you're already paying.
Yeah.
We don't even want extra off you. We're going to raise our prices once every 2 years by a couple of quid. You won't notice it, but we will. We'll raise it, and they'll get you by the balls. Because now you've got to watch the next series of Stranger Things or the Umbrella Academy.
I think what's changed as well is the quality of the TV has meant that actors are not afraid to do TV shows anymore. At one point, actors, you would never get a film star in a TV show.
They were all stood around going, I'm a movie star. There's a difference. And then all of a sudden, Nicole Kidman did it, or whoever did it. I mean,
we've seen a TV show on BBC, and it was like Elijah Wood was in it. We were like, what's Elijah Wood doing in this BBC sitcom?
Voice stuff as well. You know, that's completely changed. You know, at one point,
Jesus, the cartoons and stuff with the stars in them, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe there's one or two. I can't think of a single Tom Cruise straight to Netflix, Amazon Prime type movie that he's done. Like, do you know what I mean? There will be stars that will resist it. I'm the last great movie star because I've not done TV yet. I'm not seeing him do a TV show.
I think you might be right there. I don't know.
I can't think of anyone else.
I mean, like TV shows have had historic cameos, like Friends. You know, you have Brad Pitt Tom Selleck, quite a lot of big.
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, when you get Brad Pitt
then
on
it's
the
the
show
world's
because
biggest
he's
TV
fucking
show anyway.
one of the stars,
and it's the world's biggest TV show as well.
But yeah, it was a catalyst. It did change things. But to get him in that show every week and then back for season 2, back for season 3, it's just unheard of. It's just crazy. Primal.
Seen that? Big team up.
Not seen that.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. There were people paying 40 quid to go to see a firework display that I was able to watch out my bedroom window on Saturday night, just around the corner from me. £1 million firework display. It's just absolutely full of people just stand in the field and watch some fireworks.
Now that I understand, people rushing to go to events outside that they've not been able to do for 2 years. I understand that. Wanting to go to a festival, wanting to go to the park, wanting to go to a fucking theme park.
Is there a fear of missing out thing in that, though, with some people? Or are we just talking about the fact that some people are just different? Man. Some people want to stay at home. Dude, some people don't want to go out and deal with people.
This lockdown thing was so weird. I think that's something that changed. And I think that 6 months into it, we were all still figuring out how we felt about it. Thinking that things were necessary in our lives. I need to be there. I need to see this. I need to do that. Yeah, maybe. But after a certain point of being denied any option to go anywhere, that fear of missing out became acceptance. Just accepting that I'm just not going to do those things. For me, to the point where the first time they released the lockdown, I waited like 3 weeks before I went out anywhere at all, because I knew that everybody would be going out, queuing up and coughing all over each other.
God,
And I just thought, I don't want to have sat on my ass for 6 months trying to avoid a plague to go out and walk straight into it. That's madness. But people couldn't wait. They could not wait. You can convince yourself of anything. I know people that talked themselves out of COVID during COVID and are now full-on anti-vaxxers. It's a conspiracy.
Me too.
And if I was so inclined to be conspiratorial myself, I would say that since I had this fucking injection, this is God's honest truth. I've been ill about 5 times with different colds.
But you have also been going out way
I'll be like, I never got ill before. The difference is for me, I've got a 4-year-old that walks into a room full of germs every day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Do you think? I'm just going to say I'm going to MCM Comic Con next Saturday. Birmingham, and you've got to take a proof of vaccination there to get in. So they're doing it with everybody, no matter who.
Or a negative test result.
I think it's got to be proof you've had your things.
But mate, it's a disparity because some places make you do it and some places don't. So what message does that send to people? You know what I mean? How are you supposed to know? You need to be invested in what you're doing. You need to know where you're going. I would like to know a few weeks before I go somewhere that I'm probably going to have to take that card rather than be disorganized and just assume it's cool that I show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. All right, okay, so getting back to the whole, because we're coming towards the end of the show.
Let this cat out. Oh, you want to
do it?
Less firework displays this year, all crammed into one.
Yeah. Interesting. Did you go to the firework display on me?
No, I was gigging. Just assume I was gigging anytime you ask me. But yeah, what we're going to say, I thought all the firework things had been cancelled, but no.
No, massive one at Ali Paddy. All right, okay, so before we finish each show up, is there a film that you'd like to see made into a TV series, or a TV series that is a streaming platform original that you would love to see a feature film of?
I can think of one example of I don't think it's a feature film, but one show or 2 shows even that I think could have easily been made into decent feature-length documentaries that would have improved them both are Making a Murderer and Tiger King. Yeah, because there was so much filler in both of those shows that make you think you're watching something, but essentially
I didn't finish Making a Murderer because it was just like, this should have been
this 5 crazy episodes. Weird murder that happened and this guy might not have done it, but here's a 5-minute shot in slow motion of a wire fence with a bit of plastic wrapped around it blowing in the wind.
Yeah, there was so much repetition in that as well. It was unnecessary exposition. It was ridiculous.
So I can't think of a series that would, maybe Umbrella Academy or something like that. Make a
wow, I would love to see it. Actually, And do you think it would? Do you think it would suffer for being made into a movie?
This is my point. It's like, why would you do that when it's not necessary because it's already storming it? You know what I mean? And
which makes me think at some point we're going to lose cinema.
Possibly. However, I think that cinema and TV are the things that are in danger. That could be in danger from these things.
I agree.
I reckon that if it happens, what you're talking about happens, cinema will be the first to go, and then slowly TV will just stop showing new content. It'll start being loads of repeats in the news, and that's about it.
You just have a BBC iPlayer that you pay for.
Yeah, that's probably the most honest thing they could do right now is just start charging people for iPlayer and forget about the fucking
or having them with adverts on, and then you pay to not have adverts.
Yeah. And this is the other thing, just because they made a deal back in the day with the government that everybody in the country needs a license to watch BBC, the whole reason being is it's not funded by advertising, so they wanted the public to pay for it.
And it's good to have a national broadcaster.
Just because that deal was made however many years ago, doesn't mean they have to fucking renew it every year. You know what I mean?
No, but it is good. Okay, but you've got to look at the amount of money that the BBC makes for the UK abroad as well. The amount of shows that go to America and do incredibly well. David Attenborough, Sherlock, all that sort of stuff, does really, really, really well. It is a wonderful asset. It is a wonderful asset, and it is admired around the world. The BBC.
You know what, though? I mean, I wonder if it's something that they talk about in the offices at the BBC right now. It's like, how long can we milk this for? Are we going to just do it as a streaming service and make that Netflix money?
I don't think that's the conversation they're having. I think how long can we do this without the government and public opinion being turned against us? There is a massive culture war that the BBC is on one side of. And it's far the part actually it's in the middle of, because the problem is you have people on the left going the BBC's rubbish because it's because it shows loads of far right comment. And you've got people on the right going, oh, lefty nonsense on the BBC. And it's sat in the middle. And for me, that just makes you think they're probably doing a good job.
Or
they're probably showing being more impartial.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're probably not doing either. They haven't got much of an agenda because they don't have the balls to say what it is they really think.
No, it's not about not having the ball. It's because they're a government, public-funded entity, so they have to be careful about what it is that they put out. That's why we go back to Ghostwatch a while ago. That's why that was such a taboo on there, and all the conspiracy surrounding it. This
is something that's changed, and again, I don't want to get into it. It's a fucking minefield, but the whole thing is. What offends me is different to what offends you. And you can pretty much, if you're looking for it, you can get offended by anything. Anything. And once one person's affected by it or offended by it, it starts this domino effect of talking about getting rid of it and just whitewashing it. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem is obviously the government are putting in people at the BBC as new commissioners and heads of the BBC because they just see it as a tool, as something they can use, and because their support base are massively.
I think this week they've just changed the entire comedy department of the BBC. I'm sure it announced. That wouldn't surprise me. Like 4 people have just left, and they've got 4 other people straight in, literally.
Well, when they run a factual news argument about the Prime Minister, and then the new Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries decides that she's going to sanction the BBC because she doesn't like the story. Unfortunately, I think the BBC is heading for an incredibly difficult period of time, and I don't think it's a fair doing. I think they're being kicked down the road like a political pawn.
They sacked the comedy department. What fucking comedy have the BBC done recently? Apart from the things they've always had, like Have I Got News For You, Mock the Week, and the occasional This Country and things like that. Even Mrs. Brown's Boys, I guess. Good.
Is that BBC?
If they're going to make
BBC. It's ITV, isn't it?
It's Brown's Boys.
ITV.
Has it switched over to another channel?
I can't remember. To be honest as well, BBC, a lot of them things are in-house anyway, are they? It's only the in-house stuff.
No, production companies, and they buy them from production companies. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, exactly that.
So even like Partridge, one of the most popular things associated with BBC, Baby Cow make that, and they buy it, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Brown's BBC.
Apparently it is.
Sorry, yeah.
Wowzers. Apologies, Webby.
Again,
well done, Webb.
Trying to bring me down.
Well, we're not big Mrs. Brown's Boys fans like you are, Webb. We weren't to know. So.
I know, but it is the most original thing on television, so suck that.
The pandemic specials that South Park did were wonderful. They did two 2-hour-long specials, one about the vaccine, one about the pandemic itself. They were absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so so go back to the films and the TV series. Is there a film that any of you would love to think, actually, do you know what now? I'd love to see Netflix take this. I'd love them to get the rights to this, put the right person at the helm. Because Netflix have done a lot of dodgy series as well.
I have a question.
The Marvel stuff that they did, I wasn't keen on. You know?
I have a question about this. Can we use cast who are now dead? Can we go back in time and make the series with people who aren't around anymore?
No.
Okay. No further comments.
You want like John Candy?
I want my Planes, Trains and Automobiles TV series with John Candy and Steve Martin, please.
Oh, wow. Actually, that
do you know what? Maybe it won't make a great series. Let's have a think. I don't know. Webb, have you got any? What about Groundhog Day as a TV series?
Could
expand it.
I don't know. For me, I feel like we're treading into the conversations that these studio executives have all the time. Which is, what can we get? How can we extract some more money out of people now? You know what I mean? Oh, people really like Rick and Morty right now. Let's just make 1,000 Rick and Mortys, and everything looks like Rick and Morty, which actually looks like something else that came out that people just forgot about. Do you know what I mean? It's also derivative of each other. It's a really strange world. It's a really strange world we live in. I can't think of an example right now that I care about. If the movie was worth its weight in gold, then I do think.
For me, it would be another Indiana Jones Chronicles or something like that.
What about a James Bond TV series? What about that?
They're doing.
Could be great.
No, they've said that. I think they've said that they won't ever do it.
Do you remember they did that book about the young James Bond?
Oh yeah.
Alex Ryan. Like
no, it was. I know what the one. Charlie Hickson wrote them.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Now, I heard a little rumor that they remake that. They tried those as films, didn't they? And they only released one because nobody gave a shit.
No, that wasn't. It was a different thing. That was a different thing, man. It wasn't. That was Alex Rider. That was something totally different. It was actually James Bond. It was called. It was just called Young Bond, the book series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that might be good. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, everybody always thinks it's a cash-in or it's cheesy, but they do all right. Young Sherlock Holmes.
It's got it. Big T solved it. Animated Planes, Trains and Automobiles TV series.
And then you need a couple of people that can do decent impressions of John Candy and.
That's a good shout, actually. That is a really good shout. That would be that is a cartoon I probably would watch. That's a brilliant shout.
I don't even know if it'd make a good series. I just,
I know one, and it's a Steve Martin one that would make a great series.
Boom.
The Man with Two Brains, The Adventures of Dr. Heffer, and all the crazy shit he got up to.
Yeah.
That'd be good, and they could really mess around with that with different experiments every week. You know, this week he's doing time travel, this week he's teleporting, this week he's putting his brain in another brain. You know what I mean? It'd be good, something like that. And then you get that cat out of here in it every show.
Every show. And people go, that's a catchphrase. There we go. He said it.
That's it. 6 shows in, you're like, I can't believe I really hate this joke. And then 8 shows in, you're like, oh, they're still doing it. Like one of your jokes, Lummy, it creeps up on you and sucker punches you.
Oh.
Yeah, so for me, it would definitely be Indiana Jones. I'd love to see an Indiana Jones series done on Netflix. Yeah. I think, or Disney. I think it'd be great.
It'll come eventually. I think they'll just got to work out how there is talk of the new movie. Get this. This was rumored on somebody's video. I don't know if it's true or not. But there was rumors that Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's in the new film, was going to take over the mantle of Indiana Jones, right? And then they were going to make a Disney Plus series to continue it with her as, get this, Indiana Jones, but it's in time. She's traveled through time to erase all the other Indiana Jones films. This is what somebody said online.
I don't see the point.
Let's hope that's bullshit.
That sounds like a steaming sack of bullshit for me. Go on.
TV show from a movie, Pulp Fiction Babies.
Oh, Pulp Fiction Babies.
Like
You've mentioned this
Babies
before. You mentioned it before
No,
this, yeah.
Did I?
You did, yeah.
That
You've
felt
said
like
about
a
this.
fresh idea. Thanks for that.
No, you've said about it before this, but
Pulp Fiction Babies. Are you sure?
Yeah, definitely.
So you got a
You've
baby
mentioned it.
Gimp, a baby Mia Wallace, and they're just all babies.
Animated.
Yeah, of course, animated.
Are you going to do Look Who's Talking where somebody's doing that voice from...
Yeah, or like really bad CGI animation like that new Muppet Babies. Just lazy animation.
Oh dear, I've heard bad things about that from you. You told me.
No,
I mean,
all right, to be fair.
I mean, I'll tell you what would be the ultimate TV series, and I can't believe they haven't done it yet. This bad boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. What about the Stan Lee stories?
Say it's not true, Big T. Say it's not true.
Yeah. I knew I'd read it online. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna go wacky, go full on wacky. Why not? Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Okay.
Stephen Graham, Jodie Coleman, great drama, cartoon version.
All right, guys, is there anything else that you want to say on the topic before we finish up this week?
I'd just like to say thanks for having me on the show as always. It's great to spend some time here with you guys, just talking about the old days.
We didn't mention the fucking old days. Nobody talks about the old days, Stan.
It's like he has these conversations in his own head and attributes them to us. It's really nice. I like
it. It is nice.
To be fair, it does send the nicest Christmas card, so you can't really.
It does.
He's like a little guardian angel here, isn't he, on the show?
Can we talk a little bit about that? Christmas season's upon us, lads. You know what that means.
Presents.
Christmas movie talk. Christmas show.
We'll do the Christmas show.
Let's
do one of them. Oh, what we got for Christmas things?
Yeah, let's discuss that. Let's discuss all this off air. Let's wrap up the show and discuss this off air. And we can chat about the next few weeks worth of shows because we. Are we
definitely doing that next week? Are we definitely watching Home Alone live?
I think that's a great idea. And not the movie I'd rather do, then yeah, fair enough. I'll try and watch.
So, hang on, we've got to explain this, I guess. Now, we're going to start the film at the same time while we start this show, watch it in the background and comment as we're watching the film. Is that right?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's the idea.
So we're going to watch that film next Monday night when we should be doing the show.
Or we could
talk about it while we do it.
Or we could do it on Sunday.
Watch a movie.
Maybe we could do it on Sunday as a pre-record and just air it on Monday night as well. There's lots of options, but we can talk about that off air.
Okay.
Lummy, Nathan, is there anything that you've seen this week that you want to recommend to people? Anything that Webby's been watching?
No, I've been watching. I've been renaissancing. I've been watching older stuff.
Of course, you've been going back to Stranger Things. You've actually made me want to go into Stranger Things again. It is such a brilliant show.
I never watched it. I never watched it more than once the first time round. So yeah, it's been really nice watching it. I have been watching the new series of Big Mouth in the background while I'm sort of sitting there on my iPad on a night time. I have to say, not for the faint-hearted.
No, it's not.
Properly disgusting.
Careful. Okay, cool.
There,
what about you, Lummy? Where can people see you this week, and what is happening on Box Office Radio tomorrow night?
Box Office Radio tomorrow night is the music from the films of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So you've got
take out the papers and the trash. Have you got that one, yakety yak?
I've got this score music tomorrow night. So you've got the main title from Twins, that'll be there, and some other of his classic bit of Jingle All the Way. Conan the Barbarian, Terminator, they're all there tomorrow, all the classics. So 8 o'clock on Box Office Radio. You can listen to it on your devices or go on the website, boxofficeradio.co.uk.
And gig-wise, is there anywhere that people can come and see the comedy check out?
Yes.
Or Chris Lumb himself doing stand-up this week?
If you're in Leeds, you can watch us at on Wednesday. We're at Chapel Allerton at Seven Arts. Or you never come at shows, though. So
I've done COVID.
Come down Wednesday. Come down Wednesday. Hang out, have a few beers.
Can't make me.
Come down. Could do a live interview for this I don't fucking know. Anyway, Friday we're in Bradford. Saturday we're at Comic Con at NEC. Birmingham, we've got a gig there. We've got a family show there we're doing.
Holy shit.
Nice.
I wonder if you'll get any famous people in your audience making
Then-
suggestions.
I don't know. Saturday
Gary.
night, then after that we're at the Carriage Works in Leeds, and then Sunday we're doing our advanced improvisation course, and we've got a show after that as well in Leeds
you
at Fenton.
Jam-packed week, Lummy. You would actually get the chance to
Weekend.
watch anything.
Exactly.
Maybe you'll get
This
the
week as
creator of Rosie and Jim sitting in front row going, do a bit about...
Oh, I think the NEC one, they've got Anakin Skywalker, man. What's he called? Hayden Christensen and Palpatine are there.
Why don't you see if he wants to exercise a bit of improv chops? I
think they'll be busy. They'll be busy signing those. They'll be busy signing those 200 quid autographs to do.
Mate, I think he'll be out of his depth as well, to be honest. I'm like, what? I love you.
All right, well, gentlemen, very much looking forward to seeing you in person potentially next week. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show. Thanks for contributing all your lovely comments. Amanda, thank you so much. Thank you, Big T. Thank you, Martin. I'd like to thank our special guest this week as well. We had a brief cameo from former President Trump and our good friend Stan Lee. Please feel free to share the heck out of all of our content. It's just an algorithm thing. Go over to our YouTube page, give us a subscription, give us a subscribe over there, give us likes and things like that. It's all Geek to Me, and go over to our Twitter page at It's All Geek to Me. But for now, my name has been Rich, he's been Lummy, he's been Webby, and this has been It's All Geek to Me. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.